How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? What's the real truth about Citizen Kane?
It'll probably turn out to be a very simple thing.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I'm Parker.
Hi.
And welcome back to another episode of Better Than Citizen Kane, the highly subjective show where we look at a movie and ask that titular question. Because when every movie ever made is a reasonable contender for the title of greatest film of all time, you have to wonder, better than Citizen Kane?
So you best start believing in podcast episodes about Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl 2003. You're in one.
Woo-woo! Very nice.
You know?
Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum,
Yeah, there you
bum.
go.
Yeah.
I almost did the Ant-Man theme. That would have been embarrassing for me.
Gun to my head, I could not hum you the Ant-Man theme, so
It's
good work
quite
on
similar
you.
to what you just did.
Welcome, everybody.
Pirates, Parker.
Pirates!
Arr.
Arr. I've been so excited to talk to you about this.
For
Looking
years,
forward
even.
to it. Years,
Probably, right?
in
Like
fact.
this surely was on the list of movies to bring to the show. From
1,000%.
right?
Yeah, this has been a long time coming for sure.
Everyone at home, please join me in a belated happy birthday to Mr. Parker Rawlins.
Thank
Happy
you,
birthday,
thank you.
Parker. This is your birthday pick this year,
'Twas.
which we started doing birthday picks, I think, when we were like, well, this is when we just get to bring whatever we want.
Yeah.
And then we just started bringing whatever we wanted
That just
most
became
of
the
the time.
show.
So, but still, we call them our birthday picks.
Yes.
Basically, it's just like an extra bit of praise. I think of it like when we say like, oh, this movie is in, this is in the National Registry. This is, this is in the AFI 100. It's a birthday pick. Like that's like this
is
level
like
of praise.
it's usually films that are in our top 10s that like we are like,
Yes.
I want to bring this because I have a very deep personal attachment to this movie.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And
Yeah.
so you have a deep personal connection.
I do
with
indeed.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes. So my history with pirates goes very deep, which is that it kind of became, pardon the pun, it became my anchor when my family moved. When I was 9, I moved from Utah to Idaho. And I went from being a very popular kid at the school where I went to just being incessantly bullied for about 4 years when we moved to Idaho. I just did not have a good time when we made that move. And this movie became kind of a lifeline to me of my parents were very strict about the PG-13 limit, and I was 9 when we moved. And this was sort of a peace offering that my mother gave to me. She's like, I know you're interested in this movie because like I'd seen, because this came out when I was 6.
Yes.
And so I remember seeing a lot of the advertisements for it. Like my friends would talk about it who had seen it. And I'm like, that sounds like a cool movie. Like that sounds great. And so when we did the move, my mom was like, I'll watch it with you. It just became everything to me. I latched onto it immediately. My first piece of writing, like serious writing ever, was just basically a reskinned version of this. I wrote 80 pages by hand of like a novella of a pirate story called The Cracked Gem.
Ooh.
Yes. And my parents were very supportive of that. I don't have it anymore. It got water damaged at some point, which was really, really unfortunate. But like for a birthday, they got me like a very nice, like hardcover copy of that little book. They printed much cheaper versions and we put them in the local grocery store. I don't think they ever sold a single copy, but my parents were very supportive of my writing, which was very sweet.
How did I not know this lore until now?
I don't know.
We've been talking for years.
Yeah, but that's like,
beautiful.
it's, literally, my main character was Mark J, because I was like, okay, basic name and a bird. So it was
Yes.
that kind of stuff. It was very
Yeah.
like, had I had better access to the internet, I'm sure this would have just been a Wattpad situation for me.
Yeah,
But instead I just did it by hand.
And sold it at the local grocery store.
Sold at a local grocery store.
Wow.
And so it just it was everything to me. I'll send you a picture later. My mom's been sending me a bunch of photos. Ellie and I want to do a big gallery wall in our house of like family and friends and just personal photos. And so I was asking my mom for a bunch of them, and she sent me one of probably that. I think it would have been that first Halloween that we were there. Yeah, because my baby brother had been born. Well, I guess that would have been 2007, would have been the following one. But I dressed up as Jack Sparrow for Halloween one year. It was a good costume, I think. I looked pretty good.
Those who don't know, Parker will tell you, like, oh, I did this costume. It's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it in high school. And you'll be like, oh, yeah, like a high school costume that you're proud of. And then he'll show you the sickest shit you've ever seen. And you're just like, oh, so, like, it's really good. And when you say, like, I'm proud of it, you mean that you're going to be blown away. Not on, like, a cannonball.
Right, not on, like, a cannonball. Which Ellie and I have been talking about a ton recently. I don't know why. I think we've just been watching stuff with cannonballs. But, like, the concept of a cannonball is really,
horrifying.
like, awful when you think about it. Like, if you really just, like, awful. Terrifying.
Yeah. They used to fire them at men.
They would
just fire them at armies.
Somebody.
There'd just be a man who got blown to bits by a giant ball.
Turned into a cloud of mist. Awful.
Oh, boy.
Awful,
cannonballs are... They're scary. They're
scary to think about.
But damn, if they aren't fun.
But yeah, so like I was a huge fan of this franchise. I don't think I caught any of them in theaters because I would have been 10 when At World's End came out. However, I will say it's not a great movie, but back when they used to do this, back when like midnight premieres were the big thing and it wasn't that a movie got released 2 days before the release date. I don't know why that is the case now. I don't know how that works. But like it used to be like midnight. Midnight premiere was the thing. First midnight premiere I ever went to was on Stranger Tides.
There you go.
And wasn't a good movie, but had a great time at the theater.
Oh, of course you did. Yeah.
And then I also saw, is it Dead Men Tell No Tales? Is that the fifth one? I can't remember.
That's the fifth one.
I drop off
if you're in Europe, Salazar's Revenge.
Right, naturally. I saw that in theaters and almost walked out. The only reason I stayed was because my partner at the time, her best friend, loved Johnny Depp and was like, no, we have to stay.
Oh,
and I was like, this is awful. This movie sucks so bad.
2017's a bad, like, even, but you know, I think that was just before the shit really hit the fan, but like, we were on our way out.
Yeah, the Depp train was truly derailing, but hadn't quite hit the skids fully yet. Yes, a la Lone Ranger. But yeah, so I have, like, despite not liking the other two very much, I did see both of them in theaters.
Wow. I was going to ask because you don't have... It doesn't say that you've seen the fifth one on Letterboxd, so I was like, Parker,
I have not watched it since theaters, and I probably never will.
No, why would you?
No. But
I don't know, get some rum.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Go nuts.
But I will say that, like, I do have a very deep, abiding love of this original trilogy of films. Yes. And I think they have... I used to think that it was fully diminishing returns. I used to think it would in order 1, 2, 3. But when we did the marathon for Friendsgiving a couple years ago, I was surprised to be like, man, 3 is a lot of fun. And 3 is really... 2 is so deep.
2 isn't... It's not bad. It's not bad as a movie, but it definitely is the weakest of the 3, which
I think so.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my understanding before that, we did like a Black Friday marathon of all 3 with meals and games in between a few years ago. And like, I hadn't seen them in probably like a decade by that point. And I just feel like my understanding and like the cultural understanding is like, yeah, they get worse as they go. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, no, 3's got juice.
I'm a 3.
And you know what that
defender.
Juice is? Do you know what the juice is? It's Captain Barbossa.
It's Captain Barbossa!
And like, I would just fully commit to these movies aren't good if Barbossa isn't in them, but then he's in both 4 and 5.
I will argue, though, I will argue that the reason those don't work is that they bastardize his character. He's not Barbossa in those other 2.
No, he's got other shit going on. His characterization
is completely different. He sells out and is working as a privateer for the king. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's not Barbossa.
It's not Barbossa.
So just like Original Res, which is short for recipe, obviously. Right. Original Res Barbossa. Yeah. He's what makes these movies kind of work, you know?
Oh, yes. I have lots to say about Barbossa.
Because when he shows up at the end of Dead Man's Chest, it's like...
The hypest.
Oh, my God. And it's like so funny thinking about audiences in the theater for that, because it's like they're getting so excited about Jeffrey Rush, which is like
Yes.
no hate to Jeffrey Rush,
Sure.
but like just like an old Australian man fully just doing like the cultural idea of a pirate voice.
Yeah.
Like,
Which Disney
Barbossa,
invented, by the way. We'll talk about
what?
That pirate voice is a Disney invention, fully in like I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
But like he's really just doing the pirate voice.
Yeah.
But
very
man,
much
it
so.
just works. It works so
just
good, and it works so good in this
man.
movie. Okay.
What's your personal history with this?
Yeah. So I remember I was 3 when this one came out, this first one, which is what we're talking about. But I think that the trilogy as a whole is going to come into our discussion
Naturally. Yeah.
naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I was 3 when this came out, and I do have a memory of standing in line. Mm-hmm. It must be for like one of the earliest memories I have. Mm-hmm. Standing in line for a movie and seeing a giant like standee poster for this movie.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a very memorable poster. And again, like 3 is when my memories begin. So like this movie literally is like one of my earliest ideas of what a movie in theaters is, even though I didn't see it in theaters, if that makes sense. Like, it's a movie that I remember, like, seeing and, like, being curious about, and my dad telling me about how it's a movie. You know, he's like, that's a movie, it's coming out. Something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I do remember that. I'm trying to think, when would I have seen these? There's a chance that I saw... I don't know if I would have seen Dead Man's Chest in theaters because I was 6.
Okay.
But I definitely saw it World's End in theaters, and
Really?
I was watching these movies.
Very cool.
Which is a little bit crazy, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like I almost definitely saw it World's End in theaters when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Because it's like, you know, my dad always loved taking me to movies. Yeah. And I was often younger than I maybe should have been seeing certain movies. Mm-hmm. Like seeing Scott Pilgrim at 10 when I'm like a sheltered little Mormon kid.
Yeah.
That was mind-blowing for me, but maybe I shouldn't have been there. But I rewatching this movie this time, I was just thinking a lot about how these movies were everywhere.
Yeah.
In the like in the mid to late 2000s, like
they pushed them hard.
This was a big deal. And like this is at a time when it's like we're getting a Harry Potter every year or 2 years. Mm-hmm. When this movie comes out, Return of the King comes out in the December year following it, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like we're coming off of Lord of the Rings, Pirates is starting, Harry Potter's continuing through, and like they end right before the MCU begins. Like if you're just looking at like massive franchises in pop culture, these movies fit in at this very interesting time where like they're only really like quote unquote competing with Harry Potter. Yeah. Right? Like as far as like what's similar to them.
I mean, like you've got the smattering of like the Narnia movies in there, but those don't have the same like consistency of release schedule.
Right. And like, I don't know, just other 2000s franchises like Transformers is happening, but that's its own pile of metal in the corner. Mm-hmm. But like these movies are like people agree that they're good. Yeah. Right? Like
like it is something that like it's been such an interesting like online cultural conversation to watch because consistently like Black Pearl has been pretty unsmirched. Like people from day one are like, oh, that's the good one. That's the really, really good one. And you had some varying mileage on the other two. I think that the stink on 4 and 5 kind of bled over to 2 and 3 for a while there. But just in the past like 5 or 6 years, there's been a real like Star Wars prequels level re-examination from people where they're like, no, there's a lot going on in these. And I would argue that I think that there's more validity to the Pirates argument than the prequel argument of like, they're over-bloated movies, but it's over-bloat of a lot of really good stuff. It's just too much.
And fun stuff. Mm-hmm. The bloat in the prequels is mostly not fun.
No.
I would argue.
No.
But yeah, I mean, like, they were everywhere. I loved them when On Stranger Tides was coming out. they released Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. I played the hell out of that game.
Yeah.
Loved that game. I mean, as a kid who was in orchestra, starting in 2011, the number of times that I played the Medallion Calls in concerts is countless.
I'll bet.
These scores kind of immediately got entered into like middle school, high school orchestra canon, along with like Jurassic Park, like Williams stuff. Like, this is just like an iconic theme. And it's really interesting looking back at like how pervasive these really felt. And then they kind of just, they end. Like, that's the other thing that's crazy is like, they were just like, we're doing 3.
Yeah.
The end. And then 4 years later, they're like, can we do more of these? And then they go, okay, the answer is no. And then 6 years after that, they go, can we do more of these? And I go, okay, the answer is no. And it's like, that kind of, I think also, again, I think that 4 and 5 kind of killed interest in it.
Yeah.
Like, kind of the idea of it. Outside of, and the reason that 4 and 5 exist is Jack Sparrow. Like, that is a thing where it's like, there's probably a guy at the party. But, like, that even dies off. Like, it feels like as the 2010s hit and other things take form. And, like, I bet if Disney hadn't bought Star Wars and Marvel right after these, they would have leaned harder on these.
That's a really good point. That's a very good
point.
Right?
But, like, On Stranger Tides happens. It probably, like, doesn't do well critically. I imagine it did fine financially.
It did fine financially. I think the only one that's, like, made a loss is the 5th one.
But, like, doesn't do well critically.
No.
And also, the 4th one is, like, they give it to Rob Marshall, who then goes on to become Maleficent guy, Beauty and the Beast guy. Like, I don't know if he did Beauty and the Beast, but like he did a number of those live action Disneys, and it is just kind of like you get the sense that like On Stranger Tides doesn't do well critically, and they go, it's fine, we just bought Star Wars.
Yeah, you don't have to.
And we have the Avengers
coming out. We have our
swashbuckler
now,
and we have the Avengers coming out next year, right? So it's like they didn't need these anymore.
No.
Outside of like Jack Sparrow, we can just merchandise the hell out of that guy, right? And that's what the sequels are.
Yeah,
like
very much
the 2 sequels outside of the trilogy. Anyway.
Which is nuts going back and revisiting this because, like, I always think this, but this watch specifically, I was just like, man, remember when, like, Jack Sparrow was a character? Remember when he, like, was intelligent and made choices and was duplicitous and wasn't just a complete Flanderization of himself? Like, damn. It's crazy.
It's really interesting to watch it, and like he has sex appeal.
Yeah.
But like primarily because he isn't just like waving his arms around.
He's
going,
not bumbling. Like he doesn't bumble in this movie.
He doesn't bumble in this movie.
Yeah.
He bumbles briefly the first time that he's like on the rope.
Right.
When he like cuts the rope when he escapes the first time and he's flying up and you hear him do like the whoa, you know? And I kind of like braced myself.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that is the vision of everything to come. But he only does like that big kind of, you know, bumbling roar one time.
It's just, it's one of those things where like you watch the performance and it makes sense. You're like, yeah, I see why he was nominated for an Oscar. Like he disappears into the role so much that like it consumes Johnny Depp as a person. Like,
forever.
Forever. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is. I mean, he's a real guy.
Yeah.
Here, which is fascinating and like fun at the end. When it's like Will and Elizabeth standing in front of him and he's behind them like their weird little guy.
Yeah.
And you see like a version of the trilogy where it's like he remains the weird little guy who's there. But he's not the main guy.
Yeah.
And it's like that is kind of the weaker parts of 2 especially is like the centering of him.
It is.
Because in 3 they kind of bring it back. But
yeah. Like, it's so interesting watching these movies and thinking about, like, imagine a world where A New Hope comes out, original Star Wars, and Empire and Return of the Jedi is like, it's about Han now. Actually, it's about Han.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not...
You can't make, like, the coolest guy in the movie the main guy.
It doesn't work like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it
and
is
that
such a strange
speaks to the
choice.
fact that, like, Will kind of doesn't have a lot, like, it's so weird. Like, obviously
Yeah.
it's about his lineage and his dad.
Sure.
Stellan Skarsgård's there with a starfish on his face. But, like, by the third movie, and this was our main takeaway, and then we should really lean into just the first one, maybe.
Yeah. We'll get,
and leave room for this to come back. But what's so weird is, like, watching this, you're like, damn, like, Orlando Bloom is, like, he's doing good work here.
He's doing good work. I like him in this quite a bit.
And, like, Elizabeth is the standout character of all three movies. Like, they basically find something interesting for her to do in all of them.
Yeah, which is
but
really rare.
By the third one, they're like, what is Will doing?
I guess he's playing 4D chess and betraying
and
everybody.
it's like, he's playing 4D chess, but he doesn't know with who?
Yeah.
And it's like, who are you tricking? Who are you?
Yeah.
What's going on? And then, like, at the end, they land it because the setup was so good. Mm-hmm. But man, he just kind of loses. But, like, here, it's like Orlando Bloom's doing good work. Yep. Like, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. When did you go on the ride for the first time? Had you gone on the ride? Did that play
I'm certain I had.
movie?
Like, I think my family took a Disneyland trip. We certainly took one while I was still living in Utah when I was probably like 5 or 6. So I know I rode it early for sure. And it's still my favorite ride. Like, aside from, like, not just the movies, I love going on this ride at Disneyland. Like, it's just a good time. It's now become cringe online to say this, but, like, the smell of the water when you walk in there, like, it's just like it just a very visceral sense and memory. But yeah, so I had to go on the ride. I love the ride.
Of things now.
It's cringe to have.
It's cringe to have nostalgia at all.
Yeah,
that's really cool. I've been on the ride probably twice. Once closer to once probably when the trilogy was coming out, and then once later. No, because I don't think they don't have one in Florida, do they?
No, they do.
Oh, okay. Then I went on the one in Florida when I was like 16. Yeah. Great. This is based on a ride.
Yes. Okay. So, can I get into some research?
Can
I set the table?
This is me charting. This is me giving you that horizon.
Yes. So
now you may start.
Thank you for giving me that horizon. You brought me that horizon.
I've brought you the horizon.
You brought the horizon. So what's interesting about this is that the Walt Disney Company has a lot of history with pirates, very specifically. So naturally, we have the ride. It's one of the last projects that Walt Disney worked on personally before his death. The film Treasure Island in 1950 is the first live-action film Disney ever does, and that was like a passion project of Walt's. The thing I was bringing up earlier was that the actor Robert Newton, who plays Long John Silver, is credited with popularizing what we consider a pirate accent because he just exaggerated his own native West Country accent. And that becomes, like, single-handedly, this one performance is like, oh, you talk like a pirate. You're doing a Robert Newton impression, and you just don't know it, which is crazy. Like, it's nuts that that's, like, how deep this particular performance goes. Like, most people I know have not seen this film.
When was that performance?
1950.
Okay. So, like, in, like, earliest versions of Pirates of Penzance.
Yeah.
They weren't... Is that after this?
It's, well, the like very, very earliest, it's going to be before this. But if you look at, like, that's a whole different conversation of the Shakespeare in the Park people in the 80s and like the 70s and 80s who revitalize it with Kevin Kline. That becomes so much more like pop culture piratey than the original Gilbert and Sullivan operetta version in, like, the late 1800s.
Right.
But yeah.
Oh, man, I'm just curious when people did pirate stuff before 1950, I wonder what they were doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
I mean, I guess, quite frankly, they were doing it. It was a lot of Errol Flynn. Like, Errol Flynn was the pirate archetype. You look at Errol Flynn and Burt Lancaster and stuff like that, which is really interesting when it comes to this project. So that's the table setting for Disney. Okay. In the early 90s, Ted Elliott and Terry Rossio, who are just coming off the heels of writing Aladdin, they come to the Disney execs and they say, we want to do a film based on your pirate ride. And pirate films have been box office poison. Cutthroat Island is one of the worst bombs in history.
It is.
And they're like, okay, no, it's like, That kills pirate movies completely and utterly. They say, no, we're done. We're not doing this anymore, actually. So the executives say, no, we're not interested in it. Fast forward about a decade, 2001, screenwriter Jay Holpert, he writes a script based on the ride, and he brings that forward. We have some of the early smatterings. So Will is there. He's a prison guard who releases Jack Sparrow, a pirate, to rescue Elizabeth Swann, who's being held by Captain Blackheart. Okay. A year later, March of 2022, Disney brings on Stuart Beatty to do a rewrite on the script.
1990?
2000, March of 2002.
Okay.
So 2001, 2002. We're now on another rewrite with a different writer. And basically, he starts drilling down into some of the characters. They're not super pleased with where he's going because it feels too rote. It's very Captain Blood. It's very like, okay, here are the pirates, here are the heroes, and that's it. While this is getting kicked around, Ted and Terry hear about it and say, oh, hey, we wanted to do that, and we have lots of ideas about doing that.
And at this point, they're hot off the heels of Shrek.
Treasure Planet.
Did they do Shrek?
I think they did do Shrek, yes, but Treasure Planet would have been their most recent project.
Oh, like more relevant, probably the space pirate movie.
That's
interesting.
funny.
Interesting.
But
Shrek, classic.
They've put in a lot of work for Disney, and also just like a lot of their competitors. They do Road to El Dorado as well. Like adventure movies kind of belong to Elliot and Rossio at the time, and so
Treasure Planet, good movie.
I like Treasure Planet. I think it's fun. But they're brought in to basically give their pitch on it. They're like, okay, here's the script. What would you do with it? And they're the one who put the supernatural spin on it. They say, take the curse. Because like at the beginning of the ride, there's a reference to a pirate's curse, and let's pull that in. And that's the thing that gets everything kickstarted forward. Jerry Bruckheimer, who is already attached to the project at this time, that's what gets him to like fully sign on. Like, okay, no, we're making this. Like, this is the thing that makes it interesting. This is the thing that makes it unique, is having a curse. Disney really doesn't know what they want to do with it. They're trying to decide if it's going to go to theaters or they're going to just send it direct to video. They were interested in Matthew McConaughey as Jack Sparrow, Christopher Walken, Cary Elwes. Like they wanted that archetype. They wanted, okay, what does the 30s and 40s pirate hero look like? Who is our Flynn? Who is our Rathbone? Like all of these things, right?
Bring me that horizon.
Bring me that horizon.
I've got a jar of dirt. You know?
Yes. In May of 2002, they bring... Sorry, what?
It's not even a good Christopher Walken. I go, right? Yes. Okay. Yes. Continue. That's all. We don't have to play around. You can keep going.
There's a lot to get through.
Yeah, okay, go.
But May of 2002, Gore Verbinski gets brought on. And he loves the idea of using modern technology to resurrect this dead genre of classic Hollywood. He's like, we can do all of this stuff, and we can do it for real. And the stuff we can't do for real, we can use technology that was not available to us before, right? And that's a huge thing, is like, he talks about in interviews that like, his memories of going on the ride is that it was funny and it was scary. Like those are the two predominant memories of him in childhood for him. He's like, and I want that. I want it to be a fun roller coaster ride of a movie. And it also should be scary. It should be a scary movie. And this is Disney's first PG-13 release period of any kind.
Really?
And
because
they were
if they had done
it.
anything more, it would have been Touchstone, correct?
Yeah.
Like they would have been one of, or like Hollywood. It would have been like
this is like Walt Disney Pictures
presents
first PG-13.
Which is interesting because this movie has no logos at the front.
No, it just starts. And
I
love it. I love it.
And on the poster, there isn't a Walt Disney Pictures Presents.
No, the
logo is in the bottom right corner, but it's
like,
so small.
It's this really big push of Disney saying, we want our live action films to be taken seriously. We want them to be in consideration with other films within the system and not just, oh, that's a Disney film, you know?
Yeah.
And part of that, we'll get to it later, but like that's part of why the subtitle comes in. Michael Eisner insists on that and says like, this is a franchise and we're going to like, and it wasn't like that. There was no reason it should be, but he was very adamant. He's like, we put the subtitle on it, and we're basically manifesting that this will get a sequel. Which is a crazy thing for the executive who makes those decisions to say, rather than be like, here's a sequel.
Well, and also for it to be, a genre that is box office poison, and there's literally no guarantee this will work. Mm-hmm. But I guess that's kind of in line with Michael Eisner's approach to everything else, which was, I'm going to manifest this will work. Mm-hmm. And most of the time it did not. Yeah,
that's very fair. Verbinski hated the subtitle because he's like, the curse isn't on the black pearl, the curse is on the gold. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But it's not the curse on the black, it's the curse of.
Curse of. So yeah, they scrape by a bit on that. Something really interesting is that during pre-production, Michael Eisner comes to Jerry Bruckheimer and he's upset about the budget. He doesn't like where things are sitting with the budget right now. He's like, you have a budget of $140 million. Why is this costing so much? And Bruckheimer's like, your competition is spending more. Like if you want to be in competition with the big boys, if you want to go in swinging with Lord of the Rings and the Matrix, you need to spend this kind of money. And that's just, that's that.
Matrix is a good comparison as well.
Yeah. This movie almost dies on the vine before it ever gets anywhere because The Country Bears comes out the year before and tanks. And so immediately they're like, pull the plug. Theme park movies, they're done. Absolutely, we're not doing it. And Verbinski basically just told his team, he's like, keep working on it. He's like, we won't tell Eisner, but like, keep doing the concept art, keep getting things in motion. And then he invited Michael Eisner to come visit their office. He's like, just come look at what we're building right now. And he shows him all the concept art and he shows him all the blueprints. And Eisner's like really impressed with what they've done so far and like what the plans are for everything. He says, okay, yeah, cool. Like we will let this still have the green light as we're going forward. His one caveat is that they need to strip back a lot of the more overt references to the ride. Originally in the script, Jack and Will enter the pirate cave going down a waterfall, like the ride. So he's like, get rid of that. There's other like more specific characterization. There's a lot of deleted scenes from Tortuga that are just the vignettes from the ride that they just pull. And he's like, we don't need all this. As they're going through this, however, they're in the middle of production, and they get slammed with two different lawsuits. One of them comes from the team at LucasArts, of all places, because previously Ted Elliott had been working on a film adaptation of The Curse of Monkey Island, which had some similar elements.
Right.
So they sue him, being like, you stole a bunch of this stuff. And then also, ironically enough, the author Tim Powers, who wrote the novel On Stranger Tides, which eventually gets adapted into this franchise, sues them because he's like, you're taking a lot of pieces from this as well. None of those go anywhere. They get tossed out. But it is just interesting that the other pirate people are popping up and being like, hey, you can't do that.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Originally, they wanted Hugh Jackman for Jack Sparrow. Again, they're going for that very Errol Flynn leading man type. They land on Johnny Depp, mostly because at the time, Jackman isn't super well known. Like, the X-Men movies haven't really started hitting big yet.
Yeah, X2 had come out, but that's it.
Yeah, but it hadn't gotten legs yet. So they start assembling the crew and the cast. Everything gets put together. Verbinski's personally like approached Jeffrey Rush because he's like, I need someone with gravitas. Like, I need someone who isn't gonna make this silly. The studio originally wanted Robert De Niro, and he said no because it was a pirate movie. Which is then funny because then in 2007 Stardust. He's like, I'll be in Stardust. I'll do that. I missed that boat once.
And he's good.
He's good. I like him.
He has a good time in Stardust. He's having fun, and that's what counts.
Yep.
I missed that boat once. I liked your.
Thank you. I was happy with that. Johnny Depp invented Barbossa's first name in the audio commentary. Like, he's like, I don't know what is Barbossa's first name. It's Hector or something probably, and that just sticks. Just really funny, and I love the way he hits that in at World's End. Like, Hector. It's just good. It's silly. I like it. Dude. Orlando Bloom is having a legendary run in the early 2000s.
And he's only 26 in this movie.
Yeah, literally he gets picked out of drama school for Lord of the Rings, does Lord of the Rings, does this, does Troy, does Kingdom of Heaven. Like, just like boom, 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 boom.
He really just like landed the two biggest 2000s trilogies just...
Yeah.
Like it was no big deal.
Like it was no big deal.
It's like, I'll do Lord of the Rings for the first 3 years.
Easy.
And then I'll do Pirates for the next 3 years.
Yep.
Man.
And then they get into production. They've got the cast. The only person ever considered for Elizabeth was Keira Knightley. That was another Verbinski. Like,
she's
I want
18.
her. She's 18. She turned 18 on the set of this film.
Oof.
Which is nuts.
Yeah. She's good in it too. That's
she is.
The thing.
I like her in this. I think she's really fun. Like I think it's a good performance. And so then they're just off to the races. And what's so interesting about the making of this movie is like Verbinski and Bruckheimer were adamant that they're like, look, it needs to be real. Like this has to be real. And I am so personally fascinated by this little like 10-year window from like probably, I would say 95 to 2005, where we are getting this transition out from shooting on film stock, but we're also still getting digital effects. This is shot on film. It's got that texture and feel to it. Like, you and I have talked about, like, if you line up stills from like Phantom Menace and the original Matrix and like A Knight's Tale and Pirates, there's just like, there's this texture that these movies had. These last few that are being shot on actual film stock.
Yeah.
And that carries over to the rest of it, is that, yes, we have CG. Yes, we've gone through the boom of Jurassic Park and that opening the floodgates for what this can do, but it's still in its infancy. And even like the jump from Black Pearl to Dead Man's Chest, the technology goes so far ahead. Like, Davy Jones could not be achieved in this movie, but 3 years later
and you can tell by looking at the skeleton men.
Yes. Yeah, which I think the skeletons hold up for what they are. Like, I think they do look pretty good for the most part.
They hold up in the way that, like, a janky puppet holds up.
Yeah.
You know? Where you look at a janky puppet and
it's
you go,
some
I'm buying
edges.
this, but I recognize this is a janky puppet. And it's the same thing as this. Like, I look at this and I go, I know I can, like, I'm not, like, convinced by it. I'm not blown away by it, but I'm like, this is pretty fun. And, like, looks pretty good. And, like, it's getting the job done.
Totally.
You know?
And what's fascinating about this is that what we know to be motion capture technology really gets its current legs with, like, Dead Man's Chest. We can put people in the set. You've got the ping pong balls around. What did you say?
Oh, it's just sea legs joke.
Yeah, sea legs. But this one, they don't have any of that yet. And so all of, like, the VFX team talk about how, like, this was kind of incredibly daunting because basically what they're doing is they're doing a reference pass on set with the pirates in costume doing fights with the Royal Navy. Then they do a clean plate with nobody there. Then they do a mime pass where it's just the Royal Navy fighting no one. And then months later, they have the pirate actors back in a soundstage with the ping pong balls, trying to remember what they did 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And like, so you get, and the other thing too is that if you look at even things of the time, like obviously Gollum is a huge accomplishment in visual effects, character creation. But if you go back and watch those movies, specifically Two Towers, like most of Gollum's coverage is much more reserved in its cinematography. It's a lot of slow tracking shots. You know, if there's movement, it is very, very mechanical and like very smooth to make sure that they can comp him in properly. Verbinski's like, we're doing it handheld. We're going crazy. I want it to feel like the camera needs to be moving all the time.
And we're going to have people jumping in and out of moonlight constantly.
Yes.
Which means that we're just going to get the quickest flash of Jack as a skeleton man. And you guys are just going to have to do that.
You guys are going to have to figure that out. And to their credit, they did. Another really funny story about just the way that all of filmmaking is intertwined is the first teaser for this movie drops sometime late 2002, early 2003. Other side of the world in New Zealand, Weta Workshop people, one of their guys walks into the office one day and they're working on the Army of the Dead from Return of the King. And the original concept is much more skeletal. It is much more living skeleton. And one of the guys walks into the office and just like is gaunt. And they're like, what? He's like, have you seen it? I said, see what? And he pulls up the trailer for Curse of the Black Pearl. And they said, those bastards, they beat us. They did it first. And so they completely change art direction and make them more ghosty. Because they're like, well, we can't do that.
Which works.
Which works. I do like the ghosts.
I like the ghost. I like the green.
Yes, the green ghosts. But it is just funny, like, just looking at that and being like, well, everybody's going to say we're copying them, so we have to do something different now.
Yeah, like 6 months before.
It's crazy. But, yeah, so, like, there was a real intention of doing as much of this practically as possible. There's a brand new, like a few days old interview with Jack Davenport on a different podcast talking about his experience working on this. And he was just saying, he's like, it was nuts, dude. Like, he's like, we start filming in LA. He's like, and then we get a jumbo jet. He's like, an entire jumbo jet. He's like, do you know how weird it is to be on one of those things and you look down the aisle and you know every person on that plane? He's like, that's like how many people we flew down to St. Vincent, you know, and they couldn't handle a plane that big. So we go in somewhere else and then we're ferried over. Like, it was a massive, massive undertaking of doing all of this. They built 4 different versions of the ships. 2 of them are the upper half built on top of barges. So, like, if you look at the sides, it's all hollow and everything, but the top deck is all there, and they're sailing that around in the Caribbean. They have 1 full version of the Black Pearl. They have several, like...
crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy.
They just built boats.
Yeah. Which is really funny, too, because despite... I don't, like, this might be an urban legend. Like, I haven't been able to find anything, like, really concrete about it other than just being passed around. But, supposedly, they finished filming on this. Despite putting the subtitle on it, Disney is really worried that this is going to be a flop. In the middle of that, Bruckheimer starts filming National Treasure. National Treasure movie opens with them fighting the wreck of the Charlotte out in the middle of Antarctica, which is actually Park City. And that the Charlotte is the bones of the Black Pearl. Like, it's most of the ship. And because they don't think Pirates is going to do well, they blow it up. They blow it up for National Treasure. And then Pirates becomes a huge hit. And like, we got to rebuild the ship again, don't we?
So, okay, when they're building these ships, what does that mean? Like, how are the ships moving around? Are they literal ships? Or are they, like, built on a boat that can actually drive around?
So the top sections are built on these giant barges that can move around.
Okay, I see. Right.
There is 1 full version of the Black Pearl that gets built. And then...
But, like, full version meaning that it's a giant...
Like, it's a giant...
It has sails and it moves around by having sails.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yep. The Interceptor is a recreation ship called the Lady Washington from Boston.
Right.
And
You're just gonna pull,
They bring that down, they repaint it. They made their own cannons for this movie. Like, they cast ironed their own cannons because they couldn't find anything that would actually function, and they needed something that could function. And so they make their own cannons for these ships. Obviously not shooting cannonballs, but like, it needs to have the kickback, it needs to have the weight, it has to do all of these things. And there's just something that I think encapsulates the creative vision of the team is that Gore Verbinski is insistent that Jack's pistol needs to be real. It needs to be of the period. So the prop master contacts a collector in Connecticut. They find a pistol that was made in London in 1760, and that's what he carries. That is the gun he's using the entire movie. The others are replicas and recreations, but like, it doesn't, that's the thing. Like, you and I have talked about, probably on the podcast, but also just in person, like, the thing that is so appealing to me about filmmaking is those attention to detail. Like, you don't have to do that. No one on earth is going to look at that and go, wow, that's a real pistol. That's actually from the 1700s. Like, you could get one of the replicas because all the rest of the props in this movie look great. But there is something to be said about intentionality from filmmakers, of not wanting to cut corners and saying, look, if we're going to do this, let's do it legit. And I think that is something that has become a bit of a lost art. Like, it is not something that is appreciated and prioritized the same way anymore. And I think it's a detriment, truly. Like you watch this movie and you can feel it. Like, the explosions in the water as the rowboats are heading back to the interceptor, they're real. Like, obviously they're not cannonballs, but that water is splashing, the boats are moving. You can feel it. There's a difference. And as much as I think that the skeletons are solid, like, that's the thing, is like, you look at that and your brain immediately knows, well, that's not real. No matter how good it looks. And even now, like, no matter how photorealistic you get it, there is something in our brains, that uncanny valley neuron that is firing and saying, that's not right. And 90% of this movie passes that sniff test because it is real. So much of this is actually, the ships are real and the sets are real and the costumes are grungy. The costume designer, she would finish all these immaculate costumes and then she rented a cement truck, tossed all the costumes in with a bunch of bricks and just let it run for 2 days. I'm like, that's great. I love that. It's just fun.
It's truly an art form that is not prioritized.
No.
Like, it's a version of the art form that is not prioritized, right? Like, it's an industry of cutting corners now. Mm-hmm. And, like, I don't know. It's wild to watch this and think that, like, it's kind of like what we talk about when we watch, like, Mask of Zorro, right? Yeah. That's the Antonio Banderas movie. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, at the time, that was just like, this is like pretty standard adventure fare. Like, it's whatever. Like, it's pretty fine. Mm. And we watch it now and we go, we don't have this anymore.
Yeah, like this, we didn't know how good we had it.
So, like, all those critics' reviews of the time that are just kind of like, it's like standard fun blockbuster fare, whatever, take your kids, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, actually, that's quite impressive.
There's artistry to this. Like, that's the thing, is it is a popcorn movie. It is absolutely a capital E entertainment movie, but it's not slop. Like, there's intention.
And like,
here.
again, like in just to show, support to VFX artists today.
Totally.
Oftentimes it looks like slop because they don't have the time.
They're insanely overworked.
They are, and it's like the industry is literally bad.
No, it is the industry's fault. It's not
when
theirs.
we throw the word slop at like Marvel and like Mandalorian and Grogu,
sure.
And like there are still artists present, and they are doing their damnedest, and they are putting their soul into it. It's just that you're throwing your soul into the giant machine bucket that is the industry currently, and it's much harder for that to be appreciated and run and like come through when the production as a whole is a cut corner.
Totally. And like, that's the thing, is that you'll see so many people online with screenshots from like Dead Man's Chest and Avatar and Transformers and being like, why did CG peak in like the late 2000s? Why does things look worse now? It's like, because those artists were given the time. Like, they had ample time to make things look so good. And more specifically, the people who are making the decisions, producers, directors, executives, are planning them in ahead of time. They know, okay, I need to keep these VFX artists in the conversation, and I'm going to plan my shooting schedule and organize the set in such a way that it is the most helpful to them as possible, which is the key distinction. I don't think that artist intent or skill level on the below the line VFX worker has changed a bit. Nobody sets out to make bad looking CGI. What does change is that the decision-making people, the above-the-line people, completely undervalue them. Yeah. And just think they consider them to be disposable. And so because of that, they throw them these massive, impossible deadlines, and they can't meet them, and they look bad because of that. and then the VFX artists get all of the slack for that when it's the executives.
Yeah. Because also the thing is, and I'm going to butcher this explanation a little bit, but like for a long time, and I don't know even if it's necessarily changed yet, you might be more in the know on this, but like the reason that the industry has relied more and more and more on VFX artists is because they don't want to pay set designers and prop designers and like all of these people who are unionized. Like they don't want to pay those people. Yeah. So it's cheaper to overwork and underpay VFX artists. So like if a movie looks like shit, it's a result of exploitation.
Totally. It's like,
and so this movie being something where it's like, well, we have just a real gun from 1760 and we built a full ship and we're shooting on water and we have sets that were made by people by hand with time, and our CGI skeleton men were designed with like 4 months like we shot different plates and we did all this stuff, and it's like that all is what the artistry is meant to do. Because like Jerry Bruckheimer said, you need to put up money because your competitors are. Yeah. And now competitors aren't.
Yes.
That's very well
put. No,
like, and like, again, speaking very generally, the Dune movies look fantastic.
Yeah.
Like good stuff happens, but overall, it's the enshittification of the film industry and specifically the studios.
Yes, 1,000% yes to all of that. And like, it is a fundamental devaluing of artistry. Like it truly is, because the thing is, it's what we're seeing right now with this big push for AI is that you can't tell an AI model to build you a pirate ship. It can't do it. It cannot physically build you a pirate ship. But yeah, it can spit something out that looks like a pirate ship. It can give you an image that is an approximation of that. And I think that is where the intentionality misses. Because even like, that's the thing, is that CGI is being used as a tool. It is not being used as a crutch. It is not being used wholesale. Production. And like, even this, like all the storm sequences with these ships, obviously they're not taking those ships out into an actual storm or even to like a tank somewhere, because that would be really dangerous to have something that massive keeling and hauling like that. But they take the time to make a scale model and put it in the tank on the back lot and just spend 3 days of night shoots doing that to get all the footage they need. And like, now that would just be a CG shot, because it's like, one and done, keep it finished, whatever. And
there's sorry, keep going.
No, just that there's just something lost there, I think.
Absolutely. There's a moment where it's when I believe the Interceptor is blown up and then sinks, when they think that Will's on board or whatever. Yeah. Is that they destroyed a model and then comped it into the background? Yeah. Because it looks like it in the best way possible. Totally. I was watching it and I was like, physics of that looks right. That looks real. I was like, but I bet it's just a model that they blew up and then comped into the background. And you can't like see the comp lines, but you can like sense the comp. Yeah. And I was like, I love that. I love that it was like another image comped in behind them.
Well, it's like, again, like this movie is using a lot of digital matte paintings too. A lot of those set extensions and
when Jonathan Pryce first opens the window in Elizabeth's bedroom. Yeah. Yep.
Great digital matte painting. Like, and that's a great one. That's the thing, is that I think that this era of filmmaking is the last gasp of a lot of these old school Hollywood techniques updated to digital standards.
Yes.
And now we've left those behind. It's fascinating watching these, knowing that they are seated up, like they're couched on either side by the Star Wars prequels, and watching those movies get more and more green screen as they go, and like that to the point that you get to Revenge of the Sith and there are no real sets. Like they have maybe a couch to sit on and that's it. Yeah. And it's a different kind of filmmaking, and you can feel it. No matter how good it is, and ILM is the best. They're incredible. You can still feel it. Yeah. And that's one of the things I love so much about this movie, and like learning about the making and watching all this stuff, is just like, they just wanted to go out and do it for real, and they did. Yeah. And it makes a big difference.
Yeah. So what else do you have to say about the making of the movie? I feel like that was a good tangent, but I want to make sure that you get to say all that you want to say.
I mean, that's just about it.
Okay.
It premiered at Disneyland, which is kind of fun, like a week or two early before the film hit release everywhere else. And it was a smash hit. It was on a budget of $140 million. It made $654. It was a nominee for AFI's like top 100 films. It didn't make the list, but it was nominated. It was also nominated for its top 10 fantasy films, which is kind of fun.
Okay.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, like it was nominated for Best Actor for Depp, Best Makeup, Sound Design, Sound Mixing, Best Visual Effects. It won Hair and Makeup at the BAFTAs. Like it was very successful and did very, very well. Yeah, I think that's kind of most of the stuff. I'm sure if I go through the summary, there might be little tidbits of storytelling here and there, but that's most of the research.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so like the cast on this movie is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Like, and obviously, but like even just like Jack Davenport as Norrington.
Yeah,
good.
He's so good. He's so good.
So slimy.
It's really funny in the making of. He talks about like coming to set for the first time for like a costume fitting. He's like, and I see Johnny all done up, and he's like, I'm over here looking like an ice cream, and these guys look so cool. To the point that like he specifically requested, like when negotiations came for the sequel, he's like, can you please make me look cool? Can I please be I want to be a pirate. Like, make me grungy, please. Which is great.
He said he looked like an ice cream?
He said, I look like an ice cream. Which is so funny.
And just like an incredible cast of like Gibbs.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's just a guy from the time.
Well, like Elliot and Rossio talk about how like part of what they wanted to do with the writing to make it feel old-timey in that way and like feel classic Hollywood. He's like, the studio system had all these great character actors on contract, and they were given great parts like this in the middle of these movies. And so they wrote the script to have those kinds of characters.
Yeah. And it's really fun. Like the character actors in this and just kind of like the low level supporting cast, like are just so fun. Crazy to watch this and be reminded once again that Zoe Saldana is in this movie.
This movie almost made her quit acting, not because she had a bad time on the movie, but just because she was like, I don't know, I don't think Hollywood's for me.
Yeah.
And then
she has obviously been in the top 3 highest grossing films of all time.
Yeah.
4? Yeah. Good for her.
Good for her.
But she's in this. And like watching this, I was like, you know, just like the very passive thought of like, oh, does this movie pass the Bechdel test? Like, does she and Elizabeth ever talk? And they do, exclusively about strategy.
Yes.
Like, there isn't a scene where it's like, and we're women.
Yeah.
Because, like, that would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be, like, the instinct now.
Sure.
But it's also just kind of fun that Zoe Saldana is just there and is, like, steering the ship and is, like, arguing with Elizabeth and Will about what their plan should be.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's fun. You know,
nice.
She's in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Along with all these other people. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's a great cast of, like, funny guys doing funny things. You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, great cast.
Well, that was my last
really
point before we get into summary.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought it up. Yeah, so, I mean, this one feels a lot like some of the other kind of bigger movies we've covered where I'm like, I promise you guys know this. If you're listening to this, you've watched this movie. Yeah. So we'll touch on it, but I don't feel like I need to explain much of like the threads that get us from one scene to the other.
So the medallion is crucial because Will's blood. No, we don't need to.
No, we don't have to do that. What do you think of this opening? What do you think of the cold open?
Well, the title just happens.
Yes.
And it's appropriately spooky.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a time when, because I watched this movie a ton when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I pulled out the DVD that we had when I was a kid for this on like my dad's new 80-inch whatever, like 95-inch TV. And that DVD looks terrible.
I'll bet.
And I was like, oh, there's a reason for Blu-ray.
Yes, yeah, DVDs.
Like there's a reason that you buy a movie again at some point, but we just have the original trilogy on DVD.
Yeah, I know the one.
Watched some great trailers for Hidalgo and Freaky
Oh,
Friday.
yeah.
It was pretty fun. And then then get to the menu and I'm like, oh, this is great. I mean, I got to see Coming Soon to DVD and video. And it's just nice to hear that guy again, you know, on the biggest TV of all time or whatever.
Love that.
And then the movie started and it looked like shit. And I was like, no. So we hopped over to streaming.
Sure.
And then I watched the opening, the cold open. And I think it's really, really fun.
Yeah.
And I just remember like my experience of it now is like, this is just like, I don't know. It feels very, I don't know. But I was a kid, I found it very mysterious. And I always liked how mysterious it felt. What do you think of it now? I'm struggling to find words of what I think of it now.
It is properly moody, I think. Like the first shot of the film after the credit is just this ship emerging out of the fog and the ghostly voice of a child. You know, like it sets an atmosphere. Like it sets a mood immediately. Yeah. And I think that's great. Like I think it works so well. I think it does, you know, obviously it's period accurate, but it also, for a modern audience, even contemporary audience at the time, it does a great job of setting us against Norrington just by virtue of the age gap. Like seeing her as a child and him as just a full-grown man. Yeah. And then later it's like, I want to marry you. You're like, ugh, gross, yuck, you know? Despite being accurate to the time, whatever. Like it's good shorthand for us visually. I love the fact that Gibbs started as a Royal Navy sailor.
Yes.
I think that's a really great little detail.
And isn't really addressed super directly. Like Elizabeth recognizes him later.
Yes.
But like it's just kind of a detail of his life. It's not like it's not like that's defining. A big part of the story or anything. Yeah. Or defining,
Yeah, like it's not that they go to him because he knew Elizabeth. Like that doesn't
or like
come
it's
into
not
play.
like the movies then are like, well, Norrington's going to be like Gibbs, you know, like it's not that.
No, not at all. And I think it's better for that. But what's so interesting about this movie is that like the way that the script is structured is very exposition heavy. There's a lot of exposition in this movie. There's a lot of just dumping all of this stuff. But what you do, to your point of the cast, is you get Kevin R. McNally to do it. You get Jeffrey Rush to do it. Like, Gibbs and Barbosa handle a lot of those info dumps, but they do it in such a way that, like, it just feels appropriate to the story, you know? Like, it feels like a really great way of explaining the world and its rules. And it also is a good example of, like, you'll hear this in screenwriting classes all the time, and I think some people, it's so cliche at this point, but it is true of like, if you want to explain something to the audience, give us a character who doesn't know that thing and have somebody explain it to them.
Yeah.
And like Elizabeth is serving that purpose here at the opening, and Will serves that purpose throughout the whole rest of the movie. And it works. It just works.
But also give your exposition to a funny guy with a funny voice.
Funny guy with a funny voice.
Give it to someone interesting. If Norrington was telling us all of this, we would have been bored as hell.
Yes.
But because it's Gibbs, just like growling and winking and smiling and talking, you're just like, this is great.
Yeah.
And Barbosa, Jeffrey Rush staring at Elizabeth as he describes how horny he is and how hungry he is. That stood out to me the most this time, where he's like, and the pleasure of a woman's touch does nothing, you know, and it's like,
this trilogy is
very
horny,
horny,
man.
It's
like we can't get into it all now, but like, but yeah, it's
in a way that I mostly enjoy.
I agree. I think it's like, I think that this opening does a really great job of setting the stage for everything. I
mean, the Black Pearl is a daunting image.
Yes,
like the all black ship is great.
Just making it this great ghost ship. And like, you could attribute it to movie logic, but you could also just attribute it to like the supernatural of it all. Of like, I love that there is no sign of what has happened. Like the first thing we see is just a parasol floating in the water. And like that being like something that is so foreign to this environment. Then we see Will, and then they come across, like, you're telling me no one saw that flaming debris out in the middle of the fog? No, of course not, because you needed the reveal. because you needed the moment. And like the movie operates on that logic really succinctly and
Room
really
full
well.
of wire in Suspiria. Camera doesn't see it.
Yeah, camera doesn't see it until it's not there. It doesn't exist until the camera sees it.
The Medallion is such a successful adventure movie prop.
Mm-hmm.
It looks amazing. It feels tangible, and you want to have it in your hands. And
I have one in my car. It dangles from my rearview mirror.
Good. And it's something that, again, modern movies kind of lose out on. Like, unfortunately, the Dial of Archimedes, or of Destiny, if you prefer, is not memorable.
It's not a great MacGuffin, guys.
I would say the only good MacGuffin of the last 5 or so years is, like, the cruciform key in Mission Impossible 7, because that shit rocks. And like, it makes a sound when you put it together, and I'm like, that's all I want.
Yeah.
I just want a prop that makes an iconic little sound and makes me want to have it in my hand, please. And like, the Indiana Jones movies do a great job of that.
Yes.
A lot of adventure and fantasy movies from, 80s, like 70s, 80s, 90s, like, they have them, and the Medallion is one of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where I'm just like, give me that.
Give me that.
You know?
I want that. Yeah. And then we do a nice little jump cut with Elizabeth waking up, almost implying that maybe the Black Pearl is just a dream. Like,
yes.
The first introduction to this boat being that it's like, oh, it's a ghost ship. It's like, maybe she even just imagined it or whatever. Also just good, like, again, maybe rote, maybe cliche, but just jump cut on the eyes to immediately tell us it's the same person. It's good. Yeah, it's effective filmmaking. Good. I like it a lot.
Is the Black Pearl in the ride or mentioned in the ride at all?
No. Complete invention of the movie.
Because it is just such a cool idea, just a ship that is entirely black.
Yeah.
I go, ooh.
And I love that, like, the tattered sails are still able to catch wind. It's just like, it's a good ghost ship. I like it a lot.
Yeah. So we're with grown-up Elizabeth. Jonathan Pryce. Really good and really funny in this movie.
Yes.
I forgot that he has actually, like, a decent amount of just comedy to do in this movie, but very subtly of just, like, the way he says, like, hang him, like,
yes,
he's having fun and he's great. He's doing a good job.
I agree. So Jonathan Pryce, we get the corset, which is like,
boo.
Basically, it's interesting because it's just the metaphor for the movie. Like, the writers have talked about, like, all of the characters, well, specifically Will and Elizabeth, start the film corseted up, completely restricted and unable to move. And as the movie goes on, they are released from that and they relax into themselves more, Yeah. But yeah, boo to corset.
I only boo because it does contribute to corset anti-corset propaganda.
Yes.
Of, like, this idea of, like, corsets were prisons for women. And I go, they were supportive garments.
They were support.
And they didn't, and if it didn't fit, you would simply just get your corset refitted.
Yeah. It's a bra for your torso.
It's a bra.
Yeah.
It would be like if you made a movie about 2005 and a woman putting on a bra and being like, God, I just can't even breathe. And it's like, well, okay. Like, it can be uncomfortable. Anyway, it doesn't matter because, again, it's functioning as a metaphor. And I get it. And it's one of those scenes that as a kid I was just like, I feel like I'm learning things about fashion and women and people. Yeah.
Really great character, like, again, just very succinct character writing of this first interaction with Will. First off, I love that our first intro to him is reaching up to touch the sconce and it comes off and he has to hide it. Just that wide shot is really great. His interaction with Elizabeth tells us a lot about these characters, that, like, she is more than happy to toss aside decorum because she's really infatuated with this guy. He is hyper aware of his standing, an orphan apprentice to a blacksmith. Like, we get such a good characterization in this very brief conversation. And, like, even her dad being like, there, at least the boy has this sense of propriety, like, and then the button on it of good day, Mr. Turner, runs after her, good day, Elizabeth, under his breath, Okay, we now know that they are in love with each other, but he can't quite say it, all of these things. Very succinct, very quick. I like it.
It is, yeah.
And then we get maybe the greatest character introduction of all time, like, arguably.
Kind of can't be argued that. Yeah. And a few years ago, we started making a list of iconic 21st century film characters, because your argument was that there's less of them now than there were.
Yes.
In, like, the 80s and 90s, right? or like so many of the iconic characters in film come from the 20th century. Obviously, we are only 20 years into the 21st, but it was just kind of this curious thing of looking at, compared to the 80s, how has the 21st century been doing? Jack Sparrow's at the top of that list.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
I think
and
so.
And a lot of that comes from this introduction.
Truly. Like, it's just...
Because he is on a mast.
Mm-hmm.
His boat is sinking.
Well, he's on the mast, and you think, like, he is framed as if he is on the top. Like, it's this wonderful, like, wraparound crane shot. And then it's shot super low angle, and he looks down and he jumps down. And then we cut to the wide that he's in this tiny little dinghy.
Yes.
You know, just, like, immediate subversion of the expectation.
Yes. Shoveling water out of the boat, sees pirates hung.
Yep.
And again, I think this movie was probably one of my earliest introductions to skeleton.
Yes.
Concept of being dead and then decaying. I think, like, or even just the idea that, like, there would be, like, political enemies. Like, I'm like, they were hanging pirates. Like, what does that mean? Like, I'm like, I don't know. When you're a kid, you're learning stuff from this. You're taking things away. And I was like, they kill people who are pirates. Like, I don't know. I maybe that's not an interesting point at all.
No, I agree. Like, I think that is. I think I like that a lot because, like, that's... It's the argument for period filmmaking. And I'm not to say that period filmmaking should be treated as a documentary, but it can get you interested in these things. Like, I've learned a lot about pirates because I like this movie, and I've gone and done more research and read books on the subject.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, 100%.
Sees the pirates, tips his hat to them,
Yep.
right? And then by the time he reaches the pier, his boat has
just
sunk.
fully sunk.
And it's just...
And, like, again, wonderful characterization of he isn't panicking. He isn't, oh God, what do I do? Like, he just acts like this was all according to plan.
He isn't embarrassed.
He steps off onto the pier as if this was exactly what he wanted to have happen, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how the character is going to work throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. Depp in this role, obviously we touched on, you know, this is a real character. The character is, because is it true that they wrote this and then he changed it a lot with his performance?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Michael Eisner would often come to set and just start screaming, is he drunk? Is he gay? He's ruining the film. Which is just funny. But yeah, it's Depp who, like, they want him to be Errol Flynn. And it's interesting looking at some of the concept art once he's cast. They have some, like, costume renderings and makeup renderings that have him very much in, like, that Errol Flynn kind of classic look. Because Johnny Depp is a pretty boy, you know? Yeah. Like, this era of Johnny Depp is a pretty boy. And so they lean into that, and he was the one, he's like, no, pirates are rock stars. I'm going to make him Keith Richards.
Yeah.
So that
was the extent of Keith Richards' involvement in the Pirates franchise, correct?
He never touched it again.
And certainly not Paul McCartney.
Certainly not Paul McCartney.
Why would he be there?
Why would he be there?
But, like, you know, Depp sucks.
Yes.
As a person.
Yes.
We know now. But this performance is pretty undeniable. So... great character introduction. His first little scene with the guys. Yeah. Or first he's with the bursar or whoever that is, right? Yeah. And, like, the way that he, again, just, that is, like, the final beat of his introduction is about 3 shillings.
We forget the name.
And you don't put a name down or whatever. He takes it, and then he steals the rest of his money. And it's like, great. Perfect little button on this.
Yep. Now we know this guy. We know this guy, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, that's something that I think is such a huge boon for the movie, is that every time we get a character introduction, by the end of that scene, mentally you go, I know this person, I know who this is. Like, I like instantaneously, like, and each of these characters are distinct from each other, which is something that a lot of writers struggle with, is, like, creating unique voices for each of their characters, and every single one of these characters feels very distinct from each other in a big way. Then we get up at the fort. Norrington is getting a promotion. Ellie pointed out the last time we watched it, which is very funny to me, of there's just a very American drill sergeant voice of "Present Arms." Like, there's not a hint of Britishness in that voice whatsoever, which is really good.
What's his story?
What's his story? What's that guy's story?
How'd he get here? Yeah.
How'd he get here?
Proposal to Elizabeth. Proposal. I was just moving us forward.
Yes. Proposal to Elizabeth. Jack is down at the dock talking to these guys. He's trying to steal a ship, and he tells them as much.
A flushed away character, and also just a regular British guy.
Yes.
But the guy on the left looks like a rat from Flushed Away.
I agree. I could totally see. He looks like Sid.
Yes,
that is his name, yes?
Yes, that is.
Yes.
Wow, great pull.
Thank you. I had no idea I had that.
On the rat from Flushed Away who's not Hugh Jackman.
That's so funny.
Of course, Hugh Jackman's rat's name is Roddy.
Roddy. Again, just really lovely.
You had to correct me.
Roddy.
Correct me with the accent. Yeah.
Roddy.
Good.
No, I was just saying it to myself.
As you do every night as well.
Naturally. Just lots of really great little lines in here and great deliveries of, Elizabeth, I can't breathe. I'm a little nervous myself. It's funny. It's good.
You're having fun. And like every line with Jack and the two guys is also very fun. And that scene is very funny.
Yeah.
Talking them in circles and then going to the ship. Elizabeth faints, falls into the water.
Coin sends out a big shockwave. Like, oh, what was that? And the wind turns. Ooh, yar.
Very good.
Very good. Jack dives in, he saves her. And then is revealed that he is a pirate. It's very funny the way that people latch on to scenes and try to retroactively fit continuity onto them, right? Where like people do the Star Wars a lot. We're like, well, this lines up with this. Like, there are no guardrails on the Death Star because it was designed by Geonosians and they can fly. I'm like, guys, no, that's stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But, the fanfic writers like to latch onto this scene when Norrington comes and he's looking through all of Jack's effects. He's like, a compass that doesn't point north, and it's pointing at Jack when he holds it, and everybody's like, oh, he wants Jack, they're gay, oh my god. And it's like, guys, all they say about the compass in this one is that it doesn't point north, but we aren't trying to find north, are we? It just implies that the only place it leads is the Isla de Muerta, which it doubles down on in the next movie, because that's what Elizabeth thinks. She's talking to Beckett, and she's like, hey, you don't want the compass. I've been to the island. I've seen the treasure. You should know that it's cursed. And he's like, no, that's not what it does, actually.
Yeah.
So that rule comes in later, but it is funny watching the edit shippers take that clip and be like, oh, OMG.
And why not?
Sure,
why not?
Let them have their fun.
Or, he wants him because he's the pirate and he wants to kill him.
Wants to kill the pirate. Again, just like going down all of the things.
More importantly, though, is it does set up the East India Trading Company. If we're talking about lore,
yes,
it
had a run in with the East India Trading Company.
Jack's run in with them, because that does come in later, and maybe a deleted scene. But wasn't it about like trafficking slaves?
Yeah. I think that's the deleted scene from the third one. But so it does establish kind of like. Again, a lot of these movies that weren't planned to have sequels that then get sequels, like it's good advice to go back and find the little things you dropped as breadcrumbs and then flesh them out into things so that it feels like you were setting something up all along.
Yeah. Yes.
Great characterization, and I'm going to just keep saying that throughout the whole thing, but just like the rattling off of like no additional shots or powder, a compass that doesn't point north, and he pulls out the sword and says, and I half expected it to be made of wood.
Yes.
It's good. It's fun.
We're having fun.
Will holds Elizabeth hostage, shows
Jack holds Elizabeth hostage.
Oh, thank you, Jack. Excuse me. Would be a very different film if Will did that.
Would be a very different film.
He makes his grand escape. This is our first kind of major set piece of the movie, is the big escape sequence.
With his iconic line.
Mm-hmm. You'll always remember the day you almost called Captain Jack Sparrow.
It's good. I mean,
it's good. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I don't know what to tell you.
It just works.
Big set piece, swinging around.
Big set piece. Goes and hides in the blacksmith shop because he's trying to get the shackles off.
Yes.
Does a lot of shenanigans with that. Finally gets him busted. Will comes in and notices that things are awry.
Where I left you.
Not where I left
you. Yeah.
Meets Jack. All of their rapport in here is just so good and just so
you've
funny.
Gone to this scene when you were writing a Swashbuckler.
Yes.
I know a few years ago you watched this scene and have gone back to it a few times, I believe,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I think it's a perfectly constructed scene. Like, it's like, people talk about how fight scenes and action beats in adventure and action movies should operate the same way that a good musical number operates in a musical. That, like, it should inform us of character and move the plot along. Our characters should not be in the same place emotionally and story-wise at the beginning of an action sequence than they are at the end of an action sequence. And all of the fights in this do that, and this first one does it especially, of, like, we are learning about these two characters, we are seeing Will's skill level despite the, he's, like, explaining himself as he goes, of, he's like, who makes all these? Like, I do, and I practice them 12 hours a day, a lovely little, I love that the editors kept it in, because they could have taken it out. There was enough time in there that they could have taken it out. But I love when Jack is taunting him, talking about, like, you need to find yourself a girl, or is it that you have found yourself a girl but are unable to woo said strumpet? And he goes, you're not a eunuch, are you? And he just looks down at his crotch. He just looks like, his eyes look down for half a second, and the editors could have gotten rid of that, and they didn't, and I'm so glad they didn't, because it's funny.
Watched this with my dad, and he said, and then parents everywhere had to then explain to their kids what a eunuch was.
Indeed.
So thank you,
I asked
Walt
my parents
Disney Pictures.
Thank you, Walt Disney Corporation. The fight ends, and it ends showing us that...
Fight is so fun. Just
so,
very,
so,
literally going to the rafters.
It's got
and
levels
back.
to it. It's such a great way.
Yeah.
Like, it just uses the environment so fun. And, like, what we learn from this is that Will is the better fighter. Jack is smarter. And Jack is not above cheating to get out of a situation.
Right.
And, like,
also, Jack... Isn't it where, like, Jack has his gun pointed at Will and is like, get out of my way. I need to leave. And he's like, I won't. Like, I won't let you escape. Because this is where we learn that Will is so against pirates.
Yes.
Completely. Right? And But also that Jack says, this shot isn't meant for you.
Yeah.
And it's like that. I forgot about that part of the story. And I was, like, intrigued again. Because I was like, why does he... Why?
Yeah, this shot was not meant for you. And I also love, too, after he throws the sawdust on him and Jack pulls the gun... the puppy dog eyes that Orlando Bloom gives when he goes, you cheated. Like, he's just he's like,
well, like, we also learn from these, we learn about some of their flaws as people, but like their strengths. So we learn about their strengths, but then we also learn that they are both flawed in their archetypes because of their values.
Yes.
Right? Like, Jack could have shot Will point blank and left, but he didn't because he didn't really want to. And his mission is to use that shot on Barbossa, right? And then for Will, it's like he can't play dirty. Therefore, he will be defeated, right? Like, he might be the best swordsman in town because he practices 6 hours a day, but it's like we're learning about what their limits are as well as their strengths, which is again, like you're saying, a very good way to end this fight scene, right?
Yeah.
Because it could just be mindless action, but these movies aren't really about that. So
yeah. And this also ends on a nice little button. I forgot to mention it earlier, but, like, Will having this arc of being overlooked. Know your place, you are scum, and not seen for what he can bring to the table. Of, like, there's a moment with Governor Swan, he's like, pass my compliments on to your master. And there's a brief moment of Orlando Bloom's reaction there where he's like, oh, I made this sword. Like, this is my handiwork. He's like, but no, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And then this ending, on a comedic button of the blacksmith getting all the credit because he hit him over the head.
Yeah.
And Norrington being like, you've done a great service in catching a dangerous fugitive. Just doing my civic duty, sir.
Yeah.
But, like, that coming back around in a really important moment at the end of the movie. So I wanted to set that up here.
Yes. Yeah. So Jack is taken prisoner.
Jack's in prison. And the Black Pearl shows up and ransacks the town. That particular image of, like, Elliot and Rossio had a list of stuff from the ride that, like, was really important to them to put in. So they're like, ship firing on the fort. Has to be in it. Has to be in it. Has to be in it. And so that's how we get introduced to the Black Pearl proper in the story.
Are the men in the cell with the dog with the keys? That's from the ride,
That's
too,
the ride.
right?
Yes, 100% the ride. So you get these nice little moments, but it doesn't linger on them.
No, and it never feels... like telegraphing. It's just
it doesn't feel
you know.
kitschy. they attack the town. The pirates come in. They break into the governor's manor, and the maid plants the seed of, like, they're after you. You're the governor's daughter. Like, that's why they're here. Which then leads to some of the decision-making that Elizabeth makes later. We also get from Pintel and Rigetti that the gold called to them, that's why they're here, you know? Like, we know you're here. The gold, like, we can feel it. This kind of supernatural element. I love her trying to pull the sword off of the crest, and it's glued in. It's a good
But also, hello, Poppet.
Hello, Poppet.
Was a line that was pervasive in my family, my extended family, to the point that my uncle and aunt had a cat named Poppet because of this movie. Can we just briefly touch on, what are their names again? These two guys?
Pintel and Rigetti.
They are, I mean, they're the R2-D2 and C-3PO of the trilogy.
They are, very much so.
And it's so interesting to me that it's like, clearly they were meant to be like the continuing comedic relief, and they are.
Yeah.
Throughout the trilogy, but it's like Jack kind of just envelops everyone else. Mm-hmm. But they still have a lot to do. But like, it's so interesting that I just feel like no one talks about them anymore. No,
but they are fixtures of.
They are, and they felt important to me when I was a kid because they were in every movie. Mm-hmm. And I never knew their names.
Right.
But I'd be like, guy with the eye and the other guy. Mm-hmm. Anyway, they're fun characters. I just wanted to highlight them, and I'm
glad you brought them in. I like them quite a bit. Two of the crew members of the Black Pearl break into the cell. All the other prisoners escape because a cannonball comes through the wall, and Jack's cell, it misses Jack's cell, so he can't get out. He's still stuck. And two of the crewmates show up, and they recognize Jack, and they have this conversation. And again, establishing exposition. Last time we saw you were disappearing into the distance on that spit of land we left you on. Jack reveals that they mutinied on him. Guy chokes him, and we get the first reveal of the curse.
But also, there's a little bit of foreshadowing when the other cell members leave, and Jack grabs the bone they were taunting the dog with, and is holding that in the moonlight.
And the moonlight comes in. Yeah, it's really good. Fun. It's very fun.
But then, like, immediately, I forgot it was going to be so quick, but then, like, 2 minutes later, that crew member sticks his hand through, and we get the curse. And Jack says, like, oh, there is a curse. Very interesting.
That's interesting. Mm-hmm. They knock Will out, again, establishing that something's not right. During the ransacking of town, Will throws an axe into the back of one of the pirates. He falls down dead, and later he comes back, and Will's like, huh? Like, I killed you. What the hell?
Yeah.
But we keep moving. Then we get the best character in the movie. The best character in the trilogy, Captain Hector Barbossa. On the ship.
I told you about how when I watched the Coen Brothers movie Intolerable Cruelty, it opens with Jeffrey Rush, and I just didn't recognize him because in my head, Jeffrey Rush is just Captain Barbossa.
He's just Captain Barbossa.
Like, he doesn't have a beard in that movie. Yeah. He's Australian. He's not doing a pirate voice. And I was like, I just didn't know. And then, like, after the scene was over, my dad was like, oh, yeah, Jeffrey Rush. And I was like, I'm sorry? Huh? He didn't have a monkey on his shoulder for 1 second. Because to me, like, I know that he's, like, a very prestigious, dramatic actor. And yet, for me, I'm like, no, he's just the pirate guy who talks like a pirate.
It's just because he embodies him so well. Like,
he does.
He fully, like, this just, he feels so lived in. To the point that he would call Jeffrey Rush at, like, 3 a.m. with character questions. He's like, so, like, you know, I'm thinking that, like, at 15, he, you know, like, stowed away on a pirate crew, and Gore's like, Jeffrey, it's 3 a.m. Like, you gotta stop calling. It's really great.
He's clearly having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And embodying it so well, and he's the best character.
He's the best character. And just, like, it's interesting that we've been introduced to these pirates by their severity, by them attacking the town and being the pirates of the Caribbean, you know? Like, it is fully their ransacking and pillaging and yar! And then we meet this guy who is much calmer and much more collected and suave and charming, you know? Yes. And he's the ringleader.
But also he is so clearly a pirate. Like, to the Robert De Niro and Stardust thing, it's not, the joke isn't that then the captain is this gentleman, right?
Yeah, he's not a dandy. Yeah.
No. But he's just like a man, like he's a gentleman.
He's a gentleman
who's clearly
pirate.
soured into this captain of a ghost ship. And like he's just a delight to watch in every second that he's on screen.
Absolutely.
You know?
They negotiate back and forth, and she's like, I know you're here for the gold. I saw this ship on my passage to England 14 years ago. Like, I know this. I know you. This is what you want. Calls his bluff by trying to drop it in the water. And he's like, all right, fine. What'd you say your name was? She says, my name's Elizabeth Turner. I'm a maid in the governor's house. And that moment of just cosmic mistake of if she just said Swan, nothing would have happened. It would have been on their merry way. They would have had the gold. But then, like, something that's so interesting about this movie.
But does it save her life?
For
the time being, do you think?
I don't know.
If she had said Swan and she was not important to them.
Yeah.
Would they not have just killed her?
Maybe.
After they had the gold?
I don't know. It feels like they just, like, throw her off the side of the ship and leave.
Or worse, just, like, kept her on board. Because at one point, he literally is, like, they all start to kind of assault her.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. It does.
Because he's like, oh, like, no. Because literally, he says something. Because that's the thing, is, like, also, these guys are gross.
Yeah.
Like,
gnarly pirates.
The movie walks the line pretty well. Because obviously, you know, we talk about pillaging and plundering.
Mm-hmm.
The typical other word in that line is rape.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And this movie walks a line of sexual indecency on the part of the pirates, because it is a Disney movie, but it's a PG-13, and it's like a pretty like solid PG-13.
Yeah,
you know, like you're like, no, this is 100% what PG-13 is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But later, when they have her in the cave, and she's like, and he just cuts her hand. Yeah. He says, "No point in being wasteful."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, waste
and
not.
This time, waste not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like watching this, I was like, right, because as soon as they're people again, they will be able to enjoy.
Yeah,
that's
true. That is a very good point.
And so I was kind of like, yuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's very yuck.
Yeah.
But again, the movie does not make that so textual as to be disturbing or distracting.
Totally, it is subtext, not text. Yes, and I think it does do a really good job of skirting that line as it goes. And what I find so interesting is, though, that like, aside from the mortal safety of our main characters, like, you would think that a movie of this kind would have like higher stakes, that like, and the other movies get such higher stakes, but this one is like, if the bad guys get what they want, their curse is broken and they just keep doing what they've been like. This is not an end of the world scenario. The only reason conflict arises is because all of these characters want different things that have to involve the other people, and I think it's really good plotting in that way of like. And it's part of the reason why Barbossa can move from villain to main character and supporting character in the other movies. And he's part of the good guys because they are doing that balancing act that you talked about of like, yeah, he's the villain, but he isn't so unlikable and so duplicitous that we can't get excited when he shows back up again. Yes. You know, he is charming. He's fun to watch.
And that's what they have to do with the pirates, right? As a whole, like the pirates in this movie have to be, a little despicable, mischievous, backstabbing, and, like, dangerous.
Yes.
But they can't be so dangerous that you feel uncomfortable with them. Yeah. Like, you need to still... Like, you can be spooked by them when they're skeletons. Mm-hmm. But, like, you can't be, like, morally opposed to their actions.
Yes.
They are pirates who do pirate things that you won't be disturbed by.
Yeah.
Technically, right?
It's one of those things that is a tough line that other properties haven't navigated properly, of like, anything that is an R-rated pirate slant, like the TV show Black Sails, like what I've seen of it has a really hard time finding that balance, because it's like, here's a character we want to root for, but they're doing pirate things, and they are doing capital P, capital R-rated pirate things, and that is a tough sell. It is a tough sell to keep with it,
Yeah.
So I agree. I think they do a great job of that. Elizabeth gives them the name Turner. They take her on the ship and they won't let her leave. You have to be a pirate for the code to apply to you, and you're not. Thirdly, the code is more guidelines than actual rules.
It's perfect. Sorry, no. It's just so fun. He says that, and I literally just like giggled. I was like, you know.
Yes, it's fun.
You just like,
yep. He's fun. He's very fun.
He like looks up when he says it. He's like, guidelines.
It's great. It's great.
It's just having fun. Yeah. Oh man.
Guidelines and actual rules. It is so much fun to do a Barbossa impression. It just is. It's fun to talk like Barbossa.
It is. Talk like a pirate. Bring it back.
The next morning, Will wakes up. Town's ransacked. Elizabeth's gone. And he's like, we need to go find her. Comes into conflict with Norrington. He's like, we should ask Sparrow. Like, he knows the ship. He knows these people. And he's like, they're not his allies. They left him in his cell. He goes, talks to Jack. And he's like, I need your help. They took Elizabeth. Jack only agrees to help him once he learns his name.
It's so
he asks
interesting
him,
to me that, yes. And it's so interesting to me that Norrington is like, well, they're not his allies. And I go, wouldn't that make you want to talk to him more? Like, clearly he would be interested in selling them out then, right? But I guess Norrington's just like, they have no connection. Mm-hmm. Is that what he means? I don't know. It's whatever.
I think so. It's the argument he makes is that he's like, the pirates who attacked this fort left Sparrow in his cell, ergo they are not his allies.
Yeah.
So he can't help us.
Right. Okay.
Is his reasoning, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry to say that I think that James Norrington is maybe a little bit narrow-minded. I think he's got a little bit of tunnel vision that's a little detrimental to his cause.
Yep.
To his actions. But it is interesting, like, when Will says Turner, and Jack just goes, named for your... And he says, like, William Turner. He's like, named for your father, no doubt. Mm-hmm. And Will's like, yeah. Yeah, it's very... Great. Yeah, so I like that Will is clearly smart, lifts the gate. He helped build them. It's fun.
He knows how it works. Busts them out.
Characterization.
The boat. The boat over the top.
Under the water.
Oh, it's so good. I remember Mythbusters tried this. It does work.
Yeah. Wow.
Smart. It would be really difficult to hold it down because all of the weight is trying to go back up, but it is possible.
Wow. Well, great. And they did it. And
this is either madness or brilliance. It's remarkable how often those two coincide.
Yes.
It's really good.
And it's so smart, too, that, like, they take the ship, and they're like, no, two men couldn't possibly man that ship. Yeah. They go back, board. Like, it's just clever.
Yeah, they take the ship that's ready. They take the ship that's already moving. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ship that already had an engine going, you know?
Yeah, it's really good. It's really smart. It's really clever. Jack and Will have a conversation about Will's father. He's like, you knew my dad. And he said, yeah, Bootstrap Bill.
I forgot how quickly Will is onto him about that.
Mm-hmm. It is very quick.
And Will's like, he wasn't a pirate. And then just like, bonk, dangle him over the water.
Yeah. And I love, again, like just great writing in the themes of this argument that they're having. That Jack goes, while you're hanging there, let me tell you a few things. There are two things in this world, what a man can do and what a man can't do. For example, you can accept that your father was a pirate and a good man, or you can't. Likewise, I could let you drown, but I can't bring the ship in by myself, you know? And just like that idea of duplicity existing in life, that life is not as clear-cut black and white as Will is perceiving it as. And Jack is like, look, good people can be pirates and bad people can work for the British Navy. Like, it's not exclusive, you know?
I would argue a lot of bad people work for the British Navy, personally.
I think you're right. I think that is fair. And so they go to Tortuga. They need a crew. And Tortuga is where we get a lot of, like, the ride imagery.
Yes.
You know, we get the mayor being dunked into the well, and we once the redhead with Scarlet. Gibbs is introduced sleeping with the pigs, which is another one of those tableaus. Yeah, and then, I mean, just like, I don't have to be super specific in all of these. We can keep things moving, but he talks to Gibbs and says, I'm going after the pearl. I'm going to take it back. He's like, why would you do that? Well, let's just say it's a matter of leverage. And Will overhears that. He says, that's the son of Bootstrap Bill Turner, his only son. And I love that this sense of mystery that you're talking about of we get to see characters react to something and they don't have to explain it in that exact same scene, which I feel like is something that happens a lot now in movies where if you introduce new information, you need to explain it before that scene is over.
Well, because people aren't watching.
The people aren't watching, they're listening, right?
and if you were to circle back to something later, that could be confusing.
Yep.
And also, everyone is really impatient, obviously, and no one has the time to wait for information. So if we hear something, we want to know all the context right now, please. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yep, please and thank you.
So that I can remember half of it.
Yes. It's unfortunate because we'll talk about it at the end because I have questions for you, but like, I do think I like the pacing of this movie. I like that it's drip feeding us this mystery.
It's wild to me. Like, I was shocked when I pulled it up to watch it and saw that the timestamp is 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I watched this so much as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, this is like 2 hours and 30 minutes?
Nuts.
For like the fun swashbuckler from Disney that was like a risk. Mm-hmm. Like, you took a risk on a 2.5 hour script. Like, it's wild that it exists, but also to your point, the pacing works.
I like it a lot.
Because at exactly the half point, we have the failed ritual with Elizabeth.
Yeah.
That is 1 hour and 11 minutes in. And it's like, oh, okay, right. There is another hour and 11 minutes.
Yeah, there's still a whole movie here. Yep.
Yeah. Wild.
It's just wild. Yeah, I don't know how it does it, because again, I feel the same way about Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace is long too, and I watched the crap out of that as a kid. And I was just like, man, what was it? Everybody who says kids has short attention spans, I think you're just showing them the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
show them the Phantom Menace.
Show them the Phantom Menace.
That is Parker's fucking soapbox. Yes. God. Fuck you. Just kidding.
That's good.
As a film professor, I feel you aren't using your powers in the way that you should be, which is you should be showing them the Phantom Menace.
I should, but I restrain myself. I try to be impartial. So then we're back on the boat, and Elizabeth gets invited to dinner with Barbossa, and Barbossa gives us the whole exposition dump about the curse.
Yeah,
and again,
and it's good.
It's good. It's just a 3-minute scene of him talking, and it's good. Like, it's just, he lays it all out. And she thinks, like, it's such a great little, like, setup and payoff of the scene opens and she won't eat the food. And he's like, you don't need to impress anybody, just eat the food. And then she freaks out. She's like, it's poison. He's like, there'd be no sense in killing you. And at the end of all of this, he's like, we have to bring the gold together. There needs to be a blood payment. And she says, and thanks to ye, we have the final piece. And the blood to be repaid? Well, that's why there'd be no sense in killing you. Yet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Apple. It's good.
But also, it's interesting where when she starts eating, and then he encourages her to dig in, he's like watching her with like lust.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is a weird energy. Why is he so invested in her eating? And it's like, because he can't and no one on the ship can.
Yeah.
This is the closest he can get to experiencing food, is watching her eat it.
Watching her eat it and enjoy the food.
Yeah.
She pulls a Marion Ravenwood from Raiders. She hides the knife and then stabs him. And again, just a great line delivery of, I'm curious, after killing me, what is it you plan on doing next? As he pulls this bloody knife out of his chest. And then we get the Moonlight Serenade sequence, which is the big proper reveal of the ghost skeleton pirates. Yes. And it's a ton of fun. It's a roller coaster ride. Skeleton pirates. And the music slaps. The music goes so hard.
It's Hans Zimmer's only contribution to this score. Mm-hmm. But then he comes in for the sequels.
Yeah. Which I like shout out real quick to Klaus Badett?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's great and he's doing really great work in this movie, and I think oftentimes a lot of his work gets misattributed to Zimmer in this film. Yeah. Which is no slight at Zimmer, but I think just credit the proper people.
Yeah. And you get the line.
You get the line. Yeah.
You best start believing in ghost stories. Miss one, you're in one.
It's really good.
Miss Turner. Sorry.
Miss one, you're one. That's good. It's funny. But yes, it's... and just the reveal of his pirate skeletal form and the drinking the rum, which comes from the ride. Like, it's just good. It's just good, spooky stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
Jack gets his crew. It gets the crew together. and they are off to chase them. We establish that the compass doesn't point north. They're not trying to find north. We get to hear about Jack's backstory from Gibbs of how to escape the island. And just, like, you get to see the way that... Because Elizabeth has some of this, too, and it comes in a bit later, but, like, there's a reverence around Jack of he's this mythical, legendary figure, this story that it surrounds him. And then finding out that all of it's completely made up and it's all a sham, right? But just the way that Gibbs delivers
Speaking of the Jack myth-making, we skipped over he is without a doubt the greatest pirate I've ever seen.
Yes.
So it would seem. Which, I mean, that's also fairly iconic.
Yes. Really,
sorry, just
really fantastic.
in tying in with Jack
No,
Smith.
I'm glad, yes.
Yeah.
So they're chasing after Barbossa and the crew. Black Pearl gets to the Îlot de Merta. They're bringing all the gold in, which is interesting. Like, we understand part of that, but it's not just the Aztec gold. It's all of the treasure. Anything they've stolen, they are bringing back and stockpiling it here. Clothes, paintings, everything.
Which is, like, a funny implication of this story, is that they've spent the last however many years not stealing gold, but stealing it back. And, like, how impossibly hard it would be to find all the pieces they spent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really get a sense of, like, how desperate they are when he's like, and at last we found the last gold piece that we spent. It's like... Yeah, good lord, man.
Yeah, that's probably, 10 years makes sense to me that you were doing that whole time. It must be really difficult. Barbossa does the ritual. He just slices open Elizabeth's palm, the waste not moment. And he drops the coin in, and they're like, I don't feel any different. And he pulls out a gun and he shoots Pintel, and nothing happens. You're not dead. No. He shot me. Just completely incensed.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
We get a moment of Jack telling Will that he's well on his way to being a pirate. And he's like, no, I'll never be like you. I'm not like you. And Will double crosses Jack before he can do it to him. Knocks him out with an oar. He's like, I won't be your leverage. Your leverage. Swims over, gets Elizabeth. They escape, and she specifically grabs the medallion and takes it with her so that they can't complete the ritual anymore.
Yeah.
The monkey Jack points it out, saying, I love the monkey. I love him so much. Just screaming like, hey, she's gone. Pirates chase after them, and Jack is revealed. And I love that. You're supposed to be dead. Am I not? Jack worms his way out of the situation he's like, I know whose blood you need. I can help you
it's interesting how they write it, though, where Barbossa goes, you know whose blood we need. Mm-hmm. And then Jack just says, I know whose blood you... Like, it's just kind of, like, how often do you get a movie that just repeats the line? Mm-hmm. But, like, it's just kind of... It had, like, a level of... Not intimacy, but just, like... back and forth. I don't know. Yeah. Like, it just kind of... There's a rapport there. It's an interesting rapport between Barbossa and Jack that I find very interesting, of, like... Because he was his first mate.
He was his first mate. They were close.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
How they talk to one another.
Right. I should have. Again, we don't have to explain the plot to people, but like it is. Gibbs explains that as well. That he's like, yeah, Jack was the captain. He found the map to the treasure, and Barbossa said, hey, we all get an equal share. That should include the location of the treasure. So he gives up the bearings, and then they mutiny.
Yeah, Jack agreed.
Yeah, Jack was like, yeah, that's fair. And that comes later, I guess. So back on the ship, Will and Elizabeth talk. She tells him that she stole the medallion. Will recognizes it. He's like, yeah, I thought I lost it on the passage from England. And that's the moment he really accepts. He's like, okay, yeah, my dad was a pirate, huh? And I don't know, like, my whole world is crashing down around me because of that.
They almost kiss.
What
do you make of the romance between these two?
In
this movie and beyond?
It's serviceable. I think it gets better as it goes. Like I like it a lot come 3. Dude, like, that scene on the beach, like, we don't get steamy scenes like that anymore, man. Woof. It's good.
No, we don't.
Good stuff.
They wouldn't let Orlando Bloom go down on someone anymore.
No. Because of woke.
I don't know. Maybe that happened in Gran Turismo. What do I know?
Who knows? I haven't seen it.
Sorry. Gran Turismo based on a true story. The full title.
Yes. Jack and Barbosa are negotiating terms of what's going to happen. It's just love that. So your proposed plan is to leave me standing on some beach with not but the name I need, and with not but a name in your word, it's the one I need. No. I plan to leave you standing on some beach with no name at all, and then I'll shout the name back at you.
It's pretty funny. You can imagine a version of this where like that line is being said by Cary Elwes.
Yeah.
You know? But it's
Very
not
so.
said with like the Jack Sparrow character. It's just kind of like a little more just kind of blasé, confident. It's still funny, but like
Totally.
Like, he does make sense, obviously. It would be very much Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just keep thinking about that. I'm like, no, this is so much. Like, obviously, Depp as Sparrow is so all-encompassing and kind of perfect for this movie. But just hearing that line again, I'm like, oh, that is interesting. Like, you can imagine
you can
how
see
it was written.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can totally see it. And then we've got this great naval battle, man. Like, this ship battle is really fun.
I love the anchor turn. Like, again, I love how quickly Elizabeth is just, like, coming up with ideas.
Yeah, because she studied this. She loves pirates. Like,
which is a thing that, like, in my head, I'm like, well, that comes in the sequels. In the first one, she's very much just, like, damsel. But, like, no. She's smart, and she and Zoe Saldana are arguing over what they should do. And I mean,
it's the introduction to her character at the very beginning, is that the governor's like, let's not talk about this. I'm worried the effect it will have on my daughter. She's like, I find it quite fascinating. Yes, that's what worries me. Like, since day one, she's been this. And I agree. Like, I like the fact that she is clever and intelligent and can think quickly on her feet.
And very fun and very, like, scrappy, this crew. And, like, the ship. Like, it's fun that they, like... It's fun that she's like, okay, turn the ship with the anchor, like hard pivot. Yeah. It's like, and fill the cannons with anything we have. But even before that, they were tossing everything off the ship so they could go faster. Like, it's just, it's good action filmmaking, right? It's the Indiana Jones rule of like, you want your heroes on the back foot. Yeah. And it's like, how do you make a pirate ship? Like, how do you make a giant ship on its back foot? And it's like, well, they're tossing everything off of it, and they have to launch knives and forks out of their cannons.
They don't have munitions anymore.
Like, that's fun.
Yep,
I like it.
I agree. Quick shout out to Jeffrey Rush absolutely nailing the Buster Keaton house gag as the mast comes down and he just stands there and it falls around him.
Yes,
it's good.
Great job, Jeffrey Rush. Also nailing, we named the monkey Jack.
Like, I think about this every time where, like, we've been on film sets before, and, like, there's that moment where something magical happens while the camera's rolling, and everybody off camera goes, just, like, trying to stay silent. Can you imagine how thrilled everybody was that monkey flashes a smile right at that moment? He just goes, they're probably losing their minds. They're going crazy. How exciting must that have been?
I mean...
We named the monkey Jack.
It's Barbosa's lines.
They blow up what remains of the Interceptor.
Yeah.
You think Will is dead.
Like, why does it feel like in every movie Will has a fake out death? Is that true? Just feels like it happens again, at least in 3.
It happens again in 3. In 2, we stay with him. Like, the other characters think he's dead, but, like, we stay with him the whole time, so, like, we aren't fooled by that. But yeah, it does happen a lot.
Yeah. It happens at the same rate as Pirate makes there's going to be a naked woman joke.
Yes.
You know? Naked.
Yep. Will pops back up, threatens his own life, reveals who he is, that they need him, and so he starts making demands. He says, Elizabeth goes free. The crew's not to be harmed. Jack keeps trying to get in on the negotiating. It doesn't work. And then they pull up to the same island they left Jack at last time, and they maroon Elizabeth and Jack there.
I always remember this sequence being longer than it is.
Yeah, it's not.
In my head,
they're very briefly.
Brief. But in my head as a kid, I remember being like, "Oh, I hate this part," because I felt like it was so long.
You want to know a weird sense memory?
Sure.
This scene of them on the beach, I had not seen the movie yet, and I distinctly remember when I was about 6 or 7 going with my dad to run errands on a Saturday, and we ended up at Radio Shack, and they were playing this movie on all the TVs, and it was this scene. Like, I just remember my dad was talking to the guy about whatever he was looking for, and I was just transfixed on, like, this little piece of the movie that I wanted to watch.
What do you think about this scene? What do you think about, like, I don't know, it's, I don't know, and, like, maybe it's just tainted for me by, like, the Dead Man's Chest Elizabeth Jack stuff that I hate the fake out of.
Yeah.
But in this one, it also still kind of, like, I get what she's doing. She's being smart. And yet still, I think because all three of these movies are so tied together in my head, that when I watch the sequence, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I think it's fine, but...
I mean, it's like, I
don't
know...
It's a scene that would otherwise just be like, yeah, it's what we need to move forward.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess that's my thing, is that, like, I don't really have strong feelings about this scene because I think it's serving the purpose it needs to. Like, there's nothing about it that, like, I don't know what I would change about it.
Yeah. No, I don't know if... Again, I think it's just that it feels the most like the stuff I don't love that's coming.
Sure.
I don't know. Like, it's very Jack-centric. It's Jack drunk and dancing around and talking about rum and asking why the rum's gone.
That's fair. Yeah.
And it's like, I think maybe... I don't know. Anyway. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. But I do agree, like, I like the fact that she's tricking him to get him drunk and then just burn everything. And I love the little moment where he wakes up and he's freaking out that she's burned all the rum. And she's like, the entire Royal Navy's out looking for me. That thing is 1,000 miles high. Like, give it an hour or two, you'll see white sails on the horizon. And he takes the gun out and is, like, thinking about shooting her for a second, and then he leaves. It's really funny.
It is really funny.
And just the little button, I don't know what it means. It's just a funny button of him marching down and being upset, and then he spots the rowboat heading his way, and he goes, "There'll be no living with her after this."
Yeah, what is...
I don't know, but it's funny. It makes me laugh every time. They get picked up by Norrington. They get found, and he refuses to go save Will. He's like, we're not going to go do that. I'm not gallivanting after pirates. And she's like, do it for me as a wedding gift. I'm accepting your proposal. Do it for me. And so
Jonathan
he agrees
Pryce
to do that.
Fucking loses his mind.
Yep.
No, and by that I mean he very gently goes, Elizabeth. Really?
Yep. Back on the Pearl, we hear about Will's dad and how he was the only dissenter about the mutiny. He wasn't okay with what they did. So they strapped him to a cannon and sent him to the bottom of the ocean.
Davy Jones' locker.
Davy Jones' locker. Yep.
Which I really do think, watching this again, it is just kind of like, the sequel does pull up, I feel, the right threads.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And, like, it is very fun how bootstrap-centric this movie is. Mm-hmm. Of, like, I it's about that betrayal. And, like, it is kind of, again, it just makes, it's more to the second one's credit, but it's just, like, it's fun that that's where we pick up from.
Totally.
I do want to highlight my major gripe with this movie, which it couldn't possibly have predicted, which is that every time Will talks about his dad, they're all like, yeah, you're the spitting image of him. Mm-hmm. You look just like him. You look so much like your dad. And then they cast Stellan Skarsgård, who arguably, I don't know where you land, Parker, looks nothing like Orlando Bloom.
No, not
He's
much.
Good, and I'm glad that it's
him. He's great. He's really good.
But it's just very funny in retrospect that it's like...
Yeah, I get that. I think that is totally fair.
He doesn't look anything like
Stellan Skarsgård, not a bit.
Say. I don't know. And so and that's why this is 4 stars.
And that's your 4 stars.
No, I don't know.
We'll
talk about that.
But there is a moment here, and I haven't been able to find anything about this. I don't know what happened, but they're sitting there, and they're stationed outside the cave, and it's Norrington and Jack and the soldiers, and they're in the rowboat, and Jack is telling him the plan. He's like, I'll go in, I'll send them out in the rowboats, and you can just blow them up with the cannons, and then everything goes great. And Norrington's like, we're not doing that. I'm not, like, I'll send you in, and that's it. But as he's talking, I don't know what happens. Like, Norrington says a line, and then Jack sits back in the boat, and then he comes back up to say something again. And Jack Davenport breaks character. He, like, smirks. He's sitting there, like, all stoked. He's like... And then he comes back. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened there. But I notice it every time I watch the movie.
Huh.
I'll send you a clip.
I'm vaguely remembering that. I thought that was in care. I thought he was, like, smug about his
There's nothing Jack says to, like, it, like... It's in the middle of Jack's line. And Jack isn't saying anything that's funny or ironic. Like, it's just something happened. I don't know what it is, but it's really funny.
Something happened. Something just happened. Wild. Yeah, send me that clip.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jack goes in. I love Jeffrey Rush. It's not possible. It's just, like, completely gobsmacked that he's back. Not probable.
Yeah, very fun.
Very fun.
Wow, the more that you recount Jack's lines to me, the more I'm like, oh, I see how this was written. Like, yes. I see, because it's like you hear that Johnny Depp just completely reinterpreted the character.
Yeah.
And I go, surely that's not true the way it's written. But I'm like, no, hearing you say it, I'm like, no, you could have, like, a dashing young guy saying this stuff. Totally. But it's like having, yeah, man, that's interesting. Anyway, yeah. So he
comes in and he tells them what's going on. He's like, the Royal Navy's just outside. You and I make a deal. I'll fly under your colors. You give me the pearl, but you'll be Commodore. You know, like, I'll fly under your colors. I'll get you a big hat.
We have a deal. Yeah.
And Jack immediately to the boats. And Barbossa goes, gents, take a walk.
Well, but also here, Jack does say, and I don't want to undercut Take a Walk because it's fantastic. But Jack also says, like, you know, the exact right moment. He's cueing to Will what Will needs to do.
Yeah.
Will
and he palms
understands.
one of them. He palms every last one.
Yeah, but then, palms
one of them. Will immediately catches it. You've been planning this from the beginning, ever since you learned my name. Yeah.
But what I like about this is it is the kind of the full resolution. We're not quite there yet, but it is Will fully being a pirate, right? Like, he's on board with Jack being duplicitous, and he understands the plot immediately. Yeah, and is on board, which I think is very fun to have Will just get it, and he's there. You know, it's them working together. I agree.
And
then of course Barbossa says, "Take a walk," and Jack says, "Not the boats."
A great image of the skeletons walking on the seafloor and then turning into humans when they're under the boat.
Yeah, it's really great.
It's really good. And then we get the climax. We've got the big boat battle. Jack turns on Barbossa. We get the fight in the cave. Some really great stuff from Jeffrey Rush. You're off the edge of the map, mate. Here there be monsters. It's really good. And then, you know, they're fighting, and Barbossa eventually just throws his sword down. He's like, you can't beat me. You can't beat me. And he stabs him. The roll of the eyes is really good. And he stabs Jack. Jack stumbles back into the light, and he is now a skeleton. He palmed one of the coins. And that effect of the pools of light as they're going up and down the you know, incline of the cave, phenomenal. Just so seamless.
It also gives me a Parker level stop motion headache where I just go, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself? Oh boy. Just for us, just to show you could do it, I guess.
Just to flex flex on us all.
It's fun though, because Will is fighting. Who's Will fighting?
He's fighting he's fighting the dude with the beard who he killed at the beginning with the axe.
Oh yes,
and like a couple other kind of lackeys.
Yeah. He's just fighting. Jack and Barbossa are fighting. Jonathan Pryce he's before the skeletons arrive. He's talking to Elizabeth.
Yeah.
But
and he's like, maybe this was a mistake. Maybe don't do this.
She's in her great outfit, which is the red coat.
Yes.
And it's just good.
She kills it.
Good.
We do get...
I love every time Elizabeth Swann gets to cross-dress in these movies.
Yeah.
All
good
for
stuff.
it.
Good stuff. Yeah. She gets rid of the 2 pirates who are on the Pearl, lets loose Gibbs and the rest of the crew, and tries to go save Jack. And Gibbs is like, Jack owes us a ship. Like, we're not, we're going to stick to the code. You know, those who fall behind get left behind. And so she's left. They take the Pearl and they leave, and she's left to try and save Will on her own.
Yeah.
Comes in. It's, you know, I just kind of grin and bear it every time. It's the action movie line. It's the 2000. You like pain? Try wearing a corset. Woo! Yay! The crowd goes wild. Wow! And I just have to. Okay. Yep. Get through it.
A real Hugh did this moment.
Hugh did this moment.
But not enough to make it 4.5. No, I guess that's not enough to make Knives Out.
No, it's not. I was going to say, sorry. Back off.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I like that she gets to do some sword fighting, her and Will. I think it's really clever, sticking the bomb in the chest and then shoving them out of the light is fun.
It's brutal. That's not fair.
Yeah, that's not fair. And, like, so good. Like, I love that happens. Barbossa turns to see the explosion. Jack, like, clocks him. He cuts his hand with a coin, tosses it to Will, and then Will does the same thing and is holding both. Like, it's good choreography. And Barbossa sees what's happening, pulls a gun on Elizabeth, because Elizabeth's can't defend herself from that distance. Hear a gunshot go off, and Jack has fired his one shot.
Yeah.
10 years you carry that pistol, and now you waste your shot. He didn't waste it.
What do you think about Orlando Bloom's, I feel like he's got a real delivery tone that he does with big lines like that?
Totally. 100%
What do you think about it?
It's... in other movies, it catches me more. There's a few in Lord of the Rings that really, just kind of catch my ear in a very specific way. I think when your scene partner is Jeffrey Rush, it's kind of hard to out-chew that scenery, you know?
That's true. That's true. He's already chewed all the scenery.
Yes.
You don't need to touch it.
Yeah, it has been fully chewed, my friends. And just
Jeffrey Rush is the king of ABC scenery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, leaning into the 13 of the PG-13, the gush of blood that comes out of his chest, gnarly.
I feel cold.
It's good. It's a good last moment for the character. I love that he was holding an apple the whole time he was fighting. It's great.
Wonder if he's going to pick up that apple again.
I wonder.
Wonder if he'll ever pick up that apple and take a big bite out of it as he sets up the third movie. I don't know. Maybe he will.
Who knows? Curse is broken. Pirates start dying, so they surrender. Navy wins.
Jonathan Pryce was briefly being assaulted by a hand.
And now the hand is just bloody in a drawer. And his little, wretch reaction.
Yeah.
And Jack thinks he's going to get away. And then the Pearl's gone. And so he's like, well, they've done right by them. That's all can't expect anything more.
And then straight to his hanging.
Yeah, straight to the hanging. Will is dripped out.
So here's my thing. Would it not have been more effective and helpful for Will's character in the sequels if they just let him keep at least the red cape?
At least. But dude, the hat...
Just had, the hat is good.
Yeah, but just,
let
him have the
Scarlet
drip,
Pimpernel him out,
Scarlet Pimpernel him out.
They pimp him out, and by pimp I mean Scarlet Pimpernel.
Pimp-ernel him out.
Yeah, they Pimpernel him out. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great look.
And it's wild that the movie still can squeeze out one last little tiny action sequence.
Yeah, you get this just quick little bit. I tiptoe on the sword blade in the trap door is great. It's really
very
fun.
creative.
Very creative. And just again a good wraparound of these characters. Of again, Will the entire time has been told, know your place, stick to your station, and that coming textually in of you forget your place, Turner. It's right here between you and Jack. It's good writing.
And then Elizabeth kind of tags on too.
Me too.
And me too.
I should have thought of that. Damn. Yeah, it's me. Me too, actually.
And,
That's funny.
I know that people do a lot of like Keira Knightley impressions, online, but I really feel we're missing out on people doing impressions of Orlando Bloom announcing things, because now that I think about it, the more I'm like, he does
have a very particular like cadence.
Very particular. I'm declaring something.
Yes.
I'm being obstinate or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so they decide to let them go. They're not gonna.
Norrington just fully is like, because in my head I was like, do Will and Elizabeth go with Jack? No. They stay.
It's that Jack stumbles off the back of the fortress and falls the same place that Elizabeth did.
Yeah.
The reason he does that is because he sees Cotton's parrot. Parrot.
Yeah,
and he
they
knows
all
that
see
they're
it.
back.
They know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we're fine.
And he gets saved, and Gibbs says, it's more of guidelines about the pirate code. But the fact that Norrington just lets Will walk.
Well, it's this really lovely little moment, I think, because like Jack escapes, and then Norrington calls Will over, and he turns to Elizabeth. He says, "I'm willing to accept the consequences of my actions. Like I will stand and face this." And Norrington has this lovely moment that ties into Will's arc. He grabs the sword that Will made for him, and he said, "This is a beautiful sword. I would expect the man who made it to apply the same care and dedication to every aspect of his life, wouldn't you?" And like recognizing
it's a really fantastic bit of writing for Norrington.
Yeah, it's really.
But Jonathan Pryce also gets one where he's like, "Is it possible that piracy is at times the right choice?" Or whatever he says. It's like, it's believable. Again, even the British Navy guys, even though they are ostensibly the villains of the movie, are once again written so that they are not just evil. Yeah. Like that's something that these first three movies do really well. Of like, even Davy Jones, when he comes in, he is a tragic figure.
Yeah.
Like, they leave it open for every antagonistic force, whoever it may be, because there's a lot of switching around in these movies. They write them in a way that is so kind of human.
Yeah.
So that they are allowed to surprise you with decency.
Yes.
Like, and it's so interesting because the trick of this movie for the most of it is we're surprising you by having the pirates be fairly likable despite their actions. Even Barbossa and his crew, you want them to not be cursed, kind of, right? But then it's like, even at the end, they still are like, and Norrington, who is played so snivelly, and he's an ice cream, like he just is this, and he's awful, and yet he still has capacity for decency, and it doesn't feel forced.
Yeah, and his lieutenant
this
being
makes sense.
What are we going to do about Sparrow? He says, well, I think we can afford to give him a day's head start.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a decency.
And you're just like feeling excited.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God. And then Jack's on the ship.
Yep. He has the pearl.
He says, bring me that horizon. Right?
Yeah.
But then his last line is, he sings yo-ho.
He sings.
Bad eggs.
Drink up me hearties yo-ho.
Snaps the compass.
It's like, it's kind of I know that they put the subtitle on with the way of like trying to manifest a franchise, but I am adamant that like a good franchise is born out of a movie that doesn't think it's going to get a sequel, Like, and this does such a great job of like, it's got a Lupin the Third quality of like, and the chase is back on, we've got the romantic leads are together, and the Navy's going to keep chasing the pirates, and we're going to keep this Roadrunner and Coyote thing going, and that's where they leave it. And it's great. It's a great place to leave it.
It's elegant because it's clearly like they've done everything that they could possibly want to do.
Yes. In
the movie, right? Because they don't think they're going to get another chance. So that encourages them to be big and creative, right?
Yeah.
And then also like the setup for this of day's head start and like bring me, and everything with Jack in that last moment feels so sequel oriented, but not sequel baity, if that makes sense. Like movies now would be like, and we're going to cut to Davy Jones playing the organ.
Right, like the closest we get is the monkey post-credit, which is just a little bit of flavor on the end of it,
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah, and like, but it's like we're not doing like Heartbeat. We're not doing like Bootstrap, like we're not cutting to Will's dad.
Yeah.
which it feels like the modern version of this movie, if they were trying to manifest a franchise, Bob Iger would be like, well, you guys should cut to the heart. You should cut to whatever you think the sequel's going to be. Right. And like worst case scenario, it's something that they don't actually do in the sequel, Yeah. But like, this isn't sequel baity. It's just like the door is open.
Yeah. You could draw the lines out from here.
And also everything that they're dropping right at the end here of Days Head Start and Bring Me That Horizon are things that make you want the sequel.
Yes.
It's not saying get ready because we're already doing a sequel. It's not warning you.
No.
It's not telling you that the sequel, it's saying, don't you want us to come back?
Totally.
And you're like, yeah, I do. Like, even watching that, I was like, do I want to watch Dead Man's Chest like in the next week?
Yeah, you feel it. You feel that pull to be like, let's go.
Yeah. You feel the call of the medallion, as it were.
Indeed.
It's very successful.
Yes. So that's Pirates.
We've put some pins and some questions that you had for me.
Yes. Well, first and foremost, I want to address to the audience. Thanks for sticking with us. We're at 2:17 right now.
Yeah, this is going to be one of our longest episodes.
We'll get it wrapped. But if you couldn't tell already, everybody while listening, Max hates this movie. Max loathes this movie, and that is because Max gave this a 4. Out of 5, and so that means that Max hates the movie. And for years now, Max has been putting me on trial for hating movies, and now the tables have turned.
The 4-star hate review.
Yes, the 4-star hate review.
Yeah, you hate a movie, so you give it 4 stars.
Right. Walk me through this.
In my case, I gave it 4 stars and a heart.
That's true. I don't give hearts. It's something I've left out for some reason.
Well, that's because your letterboxed heart is in a chest somewhere.
Right, naturally.
Your Letterboxd account is the Flying Dutchman. So
of course, how could I forget?
I don't know. I wish I could give it 5 stars. It's so fun. It's just kind of, sometimes there's just a movie that's like a perfect 4 stars.
Yeah. I'm
like, this is a perfect movie. It's doing everything it's trying to do extremely well.
Yeah.
It's like doing it perfectly. It's just 4 stars for me.
That's okay.
I don't know.
I was curious if there was like specific grievances you had with it.
I don't really have they cast Stellan Skarsgård. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. I don't really have any negatives against it. I do. Again, it's like I feel the length of it, but not in a bad way. It's just like it's a movie that sets itself for that very well and very nicely. Like it sets its runtime very well. It doesn't ever feel like they're padding it out. It feels like they have all the beats they want to do, and it makes sense. But I still am like, whoa, 2.5 hours, Yeah. And I do really like this movie, and I loved it as a kid. And it's so fun. It's just it's a perfect 4 stars for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Perfect movie, 4 stars. So yeah,
I can get behind that.
Yeah. So I wish there was more. I wish I could say pacing or whatever you say when you give a movie 4 stars. Just kidding.
All right.
Something I rub up against, No, I'm just kidding. I say it with love. I don't have anything.
Yeah, it's fair.
Don't have anything for you.
Damn. I was ready to come out swinging.
No, I'm sorry. Would you like to defend the movie anyway?
No, it's fine.
What makes this 5 stars, Parker?
I don't know. I really can't think of thing I would want to change about it. Truly. Yeah. There's not a scene that I think I know that you felt some of that with the marooning beach scene a bit, but I, for me personally, I feel like every scene is about as long as it needs to be, and we move along quickly, and I think it's the kind of example of an adventure movie to me.
Yeah. I guess it's just kind of, I like this. I guess I'm just not as swashbuckled as you are.
I think
I'm
that's
not swashbuckled in. I think maybe that's what it is for me. I'm just it's a fun time, but it's not my kind of movie, I guess.
Totally. I get a lot of that with I think there's a lot of Marvel movies that are very competently made and well written, but just aren't it's that first Avengers movie I think is really solid in a lot of ways, but it's not up there for me personally.
No. This movie's leagues ahead of the first Avengers movie, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Good.
Leagues, sea joke, another ocean joke.
Very nice.
All right, do we want to do criteria? Do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay, well, technical relevance.
Yeah.
Cultural relevance. I just want to speak to, for everyone out there, really quickly, that this is, from my understanding, a major entry in the bisexual awakening canon.
Oh, yes.
Canon with two N's. Another ocean joke. I'm crushing it.
Yeah, you're popping off.
Yeah, I just want to speak to that. I just want to say, hey, everyone out there who, felt something when they saw Orlando Bloom or Keira Knightley for the first time in this movie, I just want to say, we see you.
Yep. We see you.
So that's a big part of the movie's cultural relevance, I think.
So. Naturally.
World's End is kind of a canary in the coal mine for VFX overworking.
Yeah.
I just rewatched Just Rights, the YouTube channel Just Rights video on the Pirates trilogy.
It's really good.
Talks about that, but that's more of the third movie than this.
Yeah.
Did it revive pirate movies? It's crazy that this and Master and Commander come out the same year as far as just boat movies.
Big boat movies.
But that neither of them come out of the other one existing. But it didn't really, we just get the Pirates trilogy and then there isn't really...
Yeah, that's kind of it. It
stuff.
doesn't quite break into its own genre per se. And people tried, but nothing caught.
Yeah.
But yeah. But you already said it, but one of, if not the most iconic character of the 21st century so far.
Absolutely.
That is incontestable.
It is, yeah. He is a major figure in 21st century cinema.
Yeah. And I will say, not that this is the litmus test to go off of, but it is something to point out that, if you ask people about, if you say the phrase Pirates of the Caribbean, people probably think of the movie before they think of the ride. Yeah, and even the ride has been retrofitted to add these characters.
Yeah.
Barbossa and Jack are in the ride now. It was big enough that it changed the source material.
They're in the ride now?
They're in the ride now. They're in the ride now.
Thank you.
Yep.
But yeah, Is this just an automatic Kane, or do you think, can you make a case for this movie, is my question, I guess.
It does fully culturally define the idea of pirate. Pirate is something new after this movie. Before this movie,
true.
Pirate is striped pants and eye patches and parrot, Yeah. And after it, it's Jack Sparrow. That's pirate.
Yeah, they're think of how many generic costumes, Halloween costumes, were launched.
I'm wearing one right now.
Out of the port by Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we, we watched Frankenstein. When we watched 1931's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
It's that fundamentally changed what Frankenstein was forever. Mm-hmm. So I suppose that when it comes to the genre of pirate, the character of pirate, this movie did change it.
Yeah, I can't think of many other movies that take a stock character archetype like that and completely redefine it.
Yeah. Okay.
So that would be my argument.
I think that's a great argument, and you know what? Let's give the point to Pirates.
Yes, we got him. We got him. Huge.
But remember, every point that you steal from Kane's treasure will bring a curse upon you.
Must be paid back in full. That's the final eepisode, isn't it? Is that you're going to make me come crawling back to Kane and pay my dues.
You're going to have to... I'm going to make you argue that Kane is better than every movie we've ever covered.
I'll have to bring blood from each of my top fours to break the curse.
I'm going to make you wreck a model of Porco Rosso's plane. You son of a bitch. Just kidding.
That's funny.
Oh, man. I don't know where that character came from.
No.
Didn't like it.
So point to Pirates.
Sorry. It was rude to your mom, too. I'm sorry about that.
That's rough.
I shouldn't have said that. I don't know what got into me.
I don't know what happened.
Point to Pirates. How well is it doing what it's trying to do?
I think it's flawless.
Say the line, Barker.
Flawlessly. Say the line.
Yeah, flawlessly. Yeah, I can't really argue. Again, I have no direct
I gave
qualms.
you a chance.
Yeah, and I said nothing.
Yeah. So
You cut out my tongue. My parrot said it for me.
Right.
My parrot said, "What? Nothing."
5 stars.
That was.
Better than Citizen Kane.
Wow, we both have really good parrots. That's good.
That's
I'm
really
glad
funny.
that we do.
Good.
My surprise at mine and then yours.
Yes, naturally.
I was shocked. Okay, so I guess point to pirates.
Point to pirates.
Do you connect emotionally with the movie?
Immensely. Like, it is.
What
I
emotions
watched
is
this.
it asking you to connect with?
A sense of adventure.
Awe.
Excitement.
Spectacle.
Entertainment. Spectacle.
Entertainment. Laugh.
Laugh.
Care for Will and Elizabeth, and I do.
Yeah. It makes you want to be a pirate. Like,
I care for their romance. It does. I mean, to the point that the movie ends with that classic warning of, piracy is it's not a victimless crime.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
But they made it a sea shanty version, which is odd. Like, it's an accordion playing that, which is nuts. Concertina
But,
in
at the end
back.
of the movie, it just has the general message of piracy is not a victimless crime. Do not pirate this movie. And I'm like, you can't say that after
Actually, you can't say that.
They made it look so cool.
It looks, you made this look so cool, you guys. But yes, so.
All right. Give it a clean sweep. Whatever.
I think it's a clean sweep. Taking a step back, do you have any arguments to make?
So my thoughts on it are this. I think that Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl 2003, it was just the full title.
Yes.
Eisner hated the subtitle, but he demanded the year be included.
Right. That was important to him.
Or no, Verbinski, whatever. Anyway, I think that this movie, the task this movie sets for itself is arguably simpler than what Kane sets for itself.
Sure.
Right? Like, Kane is setting for itself kind of a loftier ambition.
Yeah.
Like, thematically.
Right, yes.
Obviously, Pirates of the Caribbean is setting itself
I'm
a
on the
very
track
lofty
with you,
ambition when
yes.
it comes to ships and locations.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, even though Pirates is setting itself a more simple task, and it's operating within genre filmmaking,
Mm-hmm.
it's doing it so well that it made it a franchise and revived, even if briefly, revived an entire genre.
Yeah.
And made it box office gold.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The gold of Cortez, if you will.
Right.
And so I think that can be recognized. And, like, I think that this is something that I wish I'd thought of when we started the show as an argument to be made. And it's just another way of thinking about, if this is our Sisyphean task, is just finding more ways to make ourselves feel better about saying a movie is better than Citizen Kane. Mm-hmm. Every week we push the stone up the hill and we go, oh, we found a new stone to push up the hill. This is great. I think that it's fair to say that even if a movie sets itself a simpler task thematically than Citizen Kane, if it does, like, that doesn't matter, because if the movie is doing that better than I think Citizen Kane does with its own task,
mm-hmm.
then it's fair to say that this is better.
I think that's fair. I can totally get behind that.
Okay. What do you have to say?
I think that while it may not have the same lofty ambitions, I think the pratfalls for this, the potential pratfalls for this genre and this kind of movie are much higher than Kane's. Like, you can have a very boring character study drama that is nominated for every Oscar. We see it a lot. It happens often, right?
Yes.
And it can still, like, it can still be nominated for all these things. It still do incredibly well critically, and people can really dig into it based on its sheen and what it's like. Well, it's prestige,
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot harder to make a good adventure movie. I think it is difficult to thread that needle and not have it fall into a lot of the traps that other things have. Because, like, I think The Mummy is a fun movie, and The Mummy's doing a lot of the same things, but I think The Mummy is dumber than this movie is.
It is.
I think it is a more, and I say this with love, a more brain-dead movie. It is more a turn off your brain, watch the action kind of film. Yeah. And this just finds a really immaculate balance for me between being capital E entertaining and also having characters who are complex and interesting and have character arcs.
Yeah.
And so when there are so many more holes it could fall in, I find it personally more impressive that it finds the path through to greatness.
Yeah. It's a smart movie.
Yeah.
For, like, it does what it's doing very intelligently.
Yeah. So which
is interesting for the guys who wrote Shrek and Godzilla X Kong, A New Empire or whatever.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I did not know they did that one. Yeah. That's nuts.
It's one of the funniest things of all time is that we were watching Godzilla X Kong and my brother-in-law Creston was like, why am I getting Shrek vibes from this? And we all laughed because we were like, ha ha ha, that's so funny. And then I looked up what else Terry Rossio had written and I was like, he also wrote Shrek.
Wow.
Like, Creston just like locked in on like
just
a core element
immediately.
To that movie's
Love
persona.
That. Very good.
He looked at Godzilla X Kong and said, you're the spitting image of your father.
Very nice. Well, should I say it?
Yeah, say it.
All right. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl is better than Citizen Kane.
Holy cow.
You heard it here first.
Holy cow.
Whoa. Max, what are we doing next time?
Well, next time we're talking about Loving Vincent.
We are, which you have not seen.
I've never seen.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm
this
very
is another
excited
Parker pick I've not seen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good movie to revisit. Fun conversation.
Animation.
Oh, yes.
Oh. Okay. Well, we'll see you all then.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Drink up, ye hearty meat. Fuck.
Bye.